Am I live? Hello. Oh yeah, there I am. I am live. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you guys are from, wherever you guys watching at. I am in Albuquerque, and we have Onnalyn joining. Here we go. Well, hello.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Awesome. I thought I was going to have the same issues.
Dang, look at you already.
I'm not even ready. It's been like this for a whole week.
You know that you got family pictures in the background.
It's just my daughter, my late
Oh,
husband. That's about it.
how you doing?
I had to, I had to switch out my office. Um, my office was in my room the last time we did that live, and I had that Baltimore in the bag.
Oh yeah,
I didn't want to get no
yeah.
hate on
You hung your toilet paper on the wall,
time. Okay. So it's like that. So we starting off like that.
huh? Are they playing Cardinals this year?
I haven't looked at the schedule. Shoot, I haven't looked at the schedule yet, but I know we do preseason. We always play preseason with them.
Mm. Do you usually go to preseason games?
Last year I did, but that
Ah,
was a birthday gift from Gil and Z, from manager and Resi. It was a birthday gift from them.
oh, okay. Gil and Z, Gil Z.
Gil Z.
You just call them Gil Z.
Gil Z. Never thought about that. Do I
You're
sound
welcome.
echoish? Is it echoey?
No, you sound good to me.
You sound res to me.
You sound like you're from Nazlini.
Anyways, calm down, Blue Gap. Calm down.
Okay.
So
What's
what's
up,
everybody up
Navajo
to?
Mama? I think they're just excited to see you. Everybody is always excited to see Anna Lynn.
Yeah, because I'm always greasy. I make them shine. Hi, everybody.
Shine.
How's everybody doing? Where you guys tuning in from? Thank you guys for joining the live. Hope you guys enjoy yourselves. Get your popcorn and your pop ready.
Ooh. Whenever you're ready, Anna Lynn, I'll start off the live.
Go ahead, start off the live. Do this.
Ooh. Mellow out, man. Okay. Hello, everybody. How you doing? My name is Drew Munson. This is my channel, and we are doing the second live takeover. First one was Navajo Mama. Now we got Anna Lynn. She's here on the platform, ready to take over the conversation. So this is officially her channel for the next, I don't know how many minutes or hours we'll be on the live, but
For
this
the
is
next
officially her
few
channel.
minutes, because my phone's going to die.
Dang! Is it really gonna die?
Yeah. I have it plugged in, so we'll see how long that
Mm,
lasts.
wow, you're really prepared for the take today, huh?
I'm prepared for everything in life. I take it one step at a time. I challenge it one day at a time. And I don't know how I survive. That's the funny part.
All right, so go ahead and introduce yourself. The channel is now yours. Go ahead. You can delete it if you want.
Ugh. Sorry, I look tired. I'm really tired. But hi everybody. Name is Anna Lynn. I am. Let's see. Let's start off with. I'm from Nazlini. I started YouTube about 2018, but it was just supposed to be like a journal, kind of like documentary of my life. It wasn't really supposed to get like viewers, but I did get viewers, and thank you guys so much. I do have other channels. I have the Hook and Bruiser, which belonged to my late husband, and I also have a duo channel with George, which is called the Money Channel. Feel free to go check out those videos. And full Navajo, my plans are my deshkijin shlinki ani bashichin, twitchini dashiche, and twitchini dashanama. I
Mm.
understand Navajo maybe like 90% of the time. So if you're talking shit, I know what you're talking about. But speaking it, maybe
you
like 40%,
you
maybe.
can't talk shit in Navajo.
I can talk shit in Navajo, but I just can't like sit here and have a full blown conversation with you. But I can talk shit with you.
Go ahead, drop a bar then. Drop a bar. Go
No, might get deleted. Might get a
ahead.
strike.
Dang.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna get into like deep, harsh conversations. As like I said, it's just more like a conversation, not much of an interview. And I had asked some people like, "What do you guys want me to ask?" And so I'm just gonna throw a few questions out there from other people.
Sweet. Let's do
And
it.
I
I'm
know
down.
that a lot of these questions you already covered with Sarah from Navajo Mama. Um, one, since this is a whole new video, what are your plans?
Ashihe, Tachitni, Tohane, and Sinajini. Four
Okay.
clans.
In Navajo, how do you say where you're from?
Blue Gap, Tachi, Nashta.
Is there a name for Blue Gap?
Mm, where I'm from, the area where I'm from is supposed to be pronounced like the Bebagan Pi Oliole. It's not Blue Gap, but um it's Blue Gap and then Touchy, and then right in the center is where I'm from, and that's where that area is called. That's what I hear. I don't know if I even said it right, but it's supposed to mean where the wind blew over like the sheep corral.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay. Does your family own any sheep, cattle?
my currently no. Well, my auntie owns like five sheep, and then she has a
That's
horse. Yeah, yeah.
mm-hmm.
But my grandma, she used to have a lot of sheep back in the day, but they all died from the mine, from the uranium mine.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had some horse and cows back in the day, but we don't have them anymore.
Did you guys ever
We
butcher horses and cows?
we only butchered one cow, but we never.
No.
My brother butchered a horse before during the winter time.
Is that like that's not Navajo tradition, is it? No.
Mm, probably adopted it from some other tribe, like we do everything, but Navajos do it a lot.
Who
Yeah,
do? Who?
Navajos. They butcher cow. They butcher horse in the winter. They say it's good medicine so that you don't get sick or something like that.
Well, that's probably why I get sick a lot. Because we never did
Maybe
that.
not. Yeah, maybe you guys need to start butchering cow, sheep, horse over there. It's kind of
No,
hard to
I'm
butcher a
okay.
horse. You know what I'm saying? It's
I'm
like
gonna
sad.
traumatize Nevaeh. Poor thing. She loves horses.
Yeah,
She doesn't have nightmares for days.
my mom loves horses too, but I don't know. The last horse that was butchered, it died, and right after it died, then they butchered it. It died in a messed up way, but we didn't want it all to go to waste, so I think my dad or my brother butchered it.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Horse is pure lean protein. Wow. That's why you're
it's
gonna
like the
butcher a horse this winter. I
George.
probably wouldn't butcher it myself. I'll probably watch Jermunson butcher it. I can't do it. I'll
I
vlog
can't.
him.
I don't think I would be able to butcher a sheep. I would love to butcher a cow though. Like I always wanted to go up to the mountain and then get a wild cow and then just
Hmm.
kill it up there and then butcher it up there and then bring the meat back down, and the
Okay,
hide and
so
stuff.
I know you said that you know how to butcher a sheep,
Yeah.
and of course you've dated before. How did Oh, my first question is: did the girlfriend that you had, all the girls, did they know how to butcher?
Mm, I know one didn't for sure. I think only one probably knew how to butcher. The rest I'd never seen butcher before.
Did you guys tag team?
Nah. Actually, I never saw it in person. I only
Uh-huh.
saw pictures. So for all I know, they all didn't know how to butcher.
Is that
I
like
just
a
saw
requirement for you or no?
nah. To
No.
butcher a sheep?
Yeah.
Nah, nah, nah.
You know, I
I would
think I think with your experience and your what would you say, your yeah, your bad experience with girls, maybe you should like increase the bar and say you have to learn how to butcher, you have to butcher instead of dating all these whatever
you
you've been
mean
dating.
you mean higher my standards?
Yeah, do that.
I have. That's why I'm so alone right now.
Welcome to the lonely club.
Dang. Well, it would be like what? They don't have to like catch the sheep, butcher the sheep all together by themselves, but it would be nice if they have some knowledge of how to butcher a sheep. If they can cut the neck and kill the sheep, that would be a plus. And if they can do all the other things, like wrap the sheep and then do the um take off the hair or whatever, all of that stuff would be nice to know, but I don't think it's a requirement.
What about making bread? Do they have to know how to make bread?
Uh yeah. And I
Why'd you
think
think
the
so
reason
hard on them?
because I'm wondering to myself, does it really matter at this point if they know how to make bread or not? you know? But I was just thinking to myself, like, does it even matter? I mean, what if I get with a white girl, black girl, or a Mexican? They don't know how to make the bread that we eat, so
Well, I mean,
would it
yeah,
matter?
they're exceptional because they were never taught. But as far as you trying to date a Native American, I'm pretty sure your mom is probably going to be like, they have to know how to butcher and they have to make bread. Like, is she like that?
No, my mom is not like that. As
No.
much as as much as she wants to be that way, when she begins to be that way, she doesn't last that way. She's too nice, and she just says, "No, it's
Aw.
okay, I'll do it." So I do, I do have a high standard for women in the way they treat my mom, though, and I think if they, it kind of don't matter, but in a way, it always matters because I believe that making bread shows a lot of like discipline and a lot of
Mm-hmm.
patience, and it says a lot about how they grew up and how their mom is. Because if their mom has the right head on her shoulder, she's going to teach her daughter how to make bread, and then
Mm-hmm.
she's going to teach her. I'm pretty sure there's lessons within making bread, right? Like the way you mix it, the way you do this, the
Yeah.
way you everything. There's probably a lesson to it. I don't know those lessons because men are not taught to make bread. I learned how to make bread from my mom, but she didn't teach me lessons. She just told me how to make it so I can eat it. What there's lessons though to it though, right? Is there?
Well, I believe everybody has their own way of making bread.
Uh,
So it just depends. I can say I was taught how to make bread, but in a way, it just went through one ear and out the other because my mom was always the type to be like, "Move, let me make food in the kitchen. Get out of here, go clean or go play outside." That was me,
uh,
but I wasn't really like sat down and like, "Look at this, you're gonna do it like this," kind of thing. But I'm pretty sure everybody else was like that. George knows how to make really good bread.
why
My
did your
dad.
mom teach? Why did your mom teach you how to make bread?
Why did she teach me how to make bread?
Yeah.
My mom was the type of person that always said, never let a man control you with his money and being a man because not all men are going to be there. So you're going to have to learn how to feed the entire family. Also, learn how to get money to feed the entire family. So we were outside chopping woods or we were hauling woods, hauling water. Like we were taught both. In a
Yeah.
way, she was the only parent, so she had to learn both ways.
Uh,
Yeah. So, but like I said, I was treated like a big baby,
Uh,
so I got away
are
with
you
a
the
lot of things.
you're the baby of the family, aren't you?
Yes and no. Yes and no. My family is very traditional.
Wait, what'd you say?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can
Okay.
hear you, but I can't see you.
Every time, every time I do live, people call. Let me jump back off and then jump right back on.
All right, all right, all right. All right, give the host a minute. I'm starting to ask her questions. I need to not ask so many questions. EIN or EININDEPEN. You know what that means? Or something like a little boozy in the house. Georgia, aka Boozy in the house. Got it?
Good.
Yep, good. I see
Okay.
you. I hear you.
I'm pretty sure they're gonna call me again.
Dang, super
Um,
popular.
not really. Where was I? Oh yeah, but like George said, just being independent. She was a very independent person. So when my mom had passed, it kind of like put me down. But I also had my dad. My dad was taught to be independent too. My dad was taught to play both roles, the mom and the dad. So now my dad loves to bake, loves to cook. Not
Mm,
much of a cleaner, but that's where I come in. I'm not an
yeah.
OCD person though, but I rather be on the grill. I like grilling, and I like using my air
Ah.
fryer. So when it comes to baking and cooking on the stove, I dread it.
Mm.
Yeah,
So your
so
dad was in your dad was independent as he grew up too. His parents taught him how to be independent.
yeah, yeah. Plus, he went
Oh,
to school. He went to school out here at shoot Southwest Indian School. It was like a boarding school. You know, back then
oh, okay,
they were all gathered together and they shipped them out to a different school, a different state.
yeah.
So he was one of the people that was shipped out.
Mm, okay.
So yeah, what about you? Where let's start from your childhood. Were you the mama's boy, daddy's
Yeah,
boy?
I'm mama's boy for sure.
Still?
I I'm still a mama's boy. But, I've always been a mama's boy. I feel like I'm still, but I'm slowly getting away from it. Um, but I don't see there's some at some point it is not encouraged for men to be mama's boy still as old as they get. But being a young person and my mom being the one that was there most of the time, then yeah, I was definitely a mama's boy.
Mm-hmm.
But I said on my other interview, or not interview, the other live with Navajo Mama, that me and my dad, our relationship is getting better now. It has never
Yeah.
always been that great, but now it's getting better now. So I feel like if it was good in the beginning, I'd be like more of a dad type of kid, you know. But
Do you think if you were more closer to your dad, you wouldn't be the same person as you are today?
mm, I think so. I think I would be different as far as my approach in relationships
Mm-hmm.
because if I feel like if my dad, man, disclaimer, my dad is an awesome man. I love him so much and he's a wise person. He taught me so much in this life, but one of the things that he didn't teach me too much about was being in a relationship
Mm-hmm.
and how to be treated and then how to treat another person.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like if he taught me that those ways, I feel like I would be a different person as far as relationships. I honestly think I would have probably been married a long time ago, but I was raised just by my mom. They both taught us things as we grew up, but my mom was the majority. She was the one I was with the majority of the time. But I think I would be different in some ways, but I honestly think I'm always supposed to be the who I am today. Like this is who I was destined to be since I was created, you know. But I think that I'd have more stronger and more positive qualities if If I was if I was like a daddy's boy,
Mm-hmm.
I'd have different qualities than I have now. I feel like I would be a little more um how can I say, a little more stoic, a little more stern, a little more strict, a little more serious. I wouldn't have this quality of me where I'm able to joke, I'm able to laugh, and to be able to be open. I'm able to communicate. I think that was all my mom's doing. How I am now is all my mom's doing.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I can say, yeah. But I did learn a lot from my dad, though.
Okay. My next question, since you brought up that part, do you think you've learned some things, some qualities about yourself, or do you think you would be able to change, like tweak yourself a little bit in your next relationship?
Yeah, that was a good question earlier, though. The one you asked about if I'd be the same person if I was a daddy's boy rather than a mama's boy. But
Mm-hmm.
now, yeah, now I think I will. I I always do. Not gonna lie, like every relationship isn't perfect, but I always take what I did. I always take what I learned from that relationship and then kind of apply it to this next relationship.
Do you
So
ever take over like the negative and the bad stuff that happened into the next one? Like, let's say for the last relationship, they had cheated on you, so that trust is gone. So when you get into a new relationship, is it something that you have to rebuild with them, or is it something that's already given to them?
I everyone that I've been with after one relationship and I start over, it's a reset
Hmm.
for
You
them.
don't
It's a
take
reset.
over.
No, no, no. Well, the trust is a reset, and then like let's say communication is all a reset. Everything is a reset. And as far as me bringing old wounds into the new relationship, I feel like I do that on a personal level. That's one thing I learned about myself is that it's very hard for me to move on and move forward
Hmm.
because like at some point in my life I feel like there is not an attachment but there's still a real a presence in and a, a presence in my mind because I think I think that it's hard because my kids they're their moms, and it's hard because I can't just completely forget about them because they're actually like a part of my life through my children.
Hmm.
And no matter how much people say that it's just for the children, then it's just like it's like it's difficult, They're always gonna be in there. They're always gonna be a part of their life. They're always gonna be there. So I feel like even though I'm in a new relationship, I can't ever get rid of them because they're always gonna be there. And when it gets to that point, it's not a matter of me bringing old wounds. I feel like it's a matter of the woman not being able to trust me, and then her trust with me doesn't restart over. It's just,
Hmm.
it's different because it's hard for a woman to trust me when I have to visit my kids or something. And then as far as bringing old wounds in, I definitely do have a trust issue from previous relationships. I definitely feel very strongly about women um, being similar. They have similar traits. A lot of women are super emotional, and then that's one thing that every woman that I've been with have in common. And it's
Hmm.
not even like low key emotional. It's like super emotional. And they've all had that same trait. You know what I'm saying? They all have that same trait. And I'm just like, and it's the littlest things, it's the smallest things that they trip over. And then to me, I'm just like, why is this such a big deal though? Like, I you really want to argue over this and ruin our whole day, our whole night, then our whole day tomorrow again, you know? But I'm coming to understand that that's just the way women are, super emotional. So in those ways, I'm just like, yeah, you guys are the same, and that I think that's me in these past relationships, I had those wounds too, and I haven't healed from some of those wounds, and I'm trying my best to heal from them now. And yeah,
You think you trying to heal your wounds is by verbally expressing how women are? Is that how you're fixing it? Because from my point of view, I feel like, not to be stalkerish, but I feel like some stuff that you post, some stuff that you share, like on your social media or when you talk about it, it's basically of the same thing constantly. So I feel like, from my point of view, you're not really healing. You're more or less bringing us down constantly, especially for a woman like, I'm not perfect, but especially for a woman
bringing
like me,
who
where
down? When
I
you
don't,
say us, who you?
woman, woman, because you're always like, you you females, you, and I'm listening and I'm like, damn, why does he keep saying you? I'm watching him, I'm a really good supporter, we're really good friends, but then again I'm like, why does he keep saying you? So I feel like I wanted to ask you, how are you healing if you're constantly talking about women negatively?
Let me ask you this: do you feel like when I say you women, does that offend you?
No. Well, sometimes when you constantly do it, like you talk
What?
about it every day on every other platform. But then when I listen to your podcast, maybe like three-fourth into the podcast, then that's when you say, I'm not talking about all of you women, but I'm talking about the people that it applies to. Then I'm like,
Yeah,
okay, yeah, I get what he's talking about. But then you dive right back in again. And I'm like, okay, where did he go? We were just on the same page.
I think in the beginning of all every conversation that I have, right, and every time I talk about an issue that's between men and women,
Mm-hmm.
then I think everybody should go into the podcast or go into my lives, um, keeping that thought in their head that everything that I speak about is just an opinion of mine, and then also that I experienced it, and that I don't generalize all women in one pot. The reason why I don't is because I know that there are women out there who are wives,
Mm-hmm.
and I really respect wives, and I really respect husbands. I really respect marriage because it takes a lot for a woman to dedicate her whole entire life to a man, and this vice versa, right?
Yeah.
And I do my best not to speak bad about women who are married, because
Mm-hmm.
that's a whole different thing. Because if a
Yeah.
woman is able to hold it down in the marriage, that says a lot about her. It says that she's patient, she's committed, she's loyal, and so on and so forth, right? And the same with a
Mm-hmm.
man. Whether people say men men cheat and women cheat, regardless of that, marriage is like
Mhm.
marriage is like top tier shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when I go on my lives or when I go on my podcast and I'm just talking, when I'm just spitballing, it's like it takes away from the fact when you keep having to remind the audience that not all women, but some women. Just to
Mhm.
clarify that for people, just to clarify that for women, it's just it's just it's nuts. I feel like I shouldn't have to clarify that for a lady, because if it doesn't apply to her, then she shouldn't feel any type of way about it. But if it does apply to her, then she should feel offended, and she should kind of like reflect on her behavior, because
Mhm.
if it does trigger a woman in some sort of way, then maybe that is just the way it is for her, and she needs to do some self-reflecting, because a man is addressing her issue. That's why it makes it feel like I'm calling out all women. You know, it's like if
Maybe
I'm
not
talking to
saying all of you women, because a lot of time you say you all of you, and I'm like, okay, I thought you were talking about the negative crazy girls, and now all of a sudden you're saying all. But
what
I'm
what
gonna
what
ask.
podcast was that where I said all women?
I don't know which podcast it is. I have to
Are you
go
sure I say all
re-listen to
women?
all. Hmm.
I'm pretty sure I haven't said all women. You probably got to find that for me and then show me, because I don't know if I actually said that.
No, I'll show
Because
you a couple of them.
yeah, show me a couple of them, because if I said that, then I know that all of you women are super emotional though.
Now, of course,
Yeah, I'm
we
trying
were
to
meant to be that way. That's the way we were made. And woman
exactly, but
and
not
men is more of they keep everything in and they don't show much expression. That's just how we were all built. So that's
exactly.
why I'm like talking about if you were closer to your dad, would you feel the same way? Would you have the same traits opposed to your mom? Um, but Navajo Mama has a good question here. When you relieve your experiences by talking about them, does that not affect the healing?
I that's the why I feel like that's another reason why I'm so verbal, and that's why I make
Mm-hmm.
music, and that's why I have the platform of a podcast,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why a lot of my YouTube videos are not actually like recording vlogs. A lot of it is just live podcasts now
Mm-hmm.
recently, and I honestly do feel like it's helping me because when I the more I talk about it and the more I share my experiences, it just kind of gets it out. Even though it might have an effect, like a negative effect on the audience or a positive one, I
Mm-hmm.
still like to just express the way I feel. And that's when I go to schools, I tell students express the way you feel, no matter how horrible it might sound or how it might make you look to the people in the public or your peers. No matter how bad it makes you look, if it makes you look dumb or if it makes you look angry, if it makes you look sad, just express it. Because if you get it out, and then you begin to heal. And I really believe that a part of me has begun to heal because I'm able to speak about the things that hurt me. Because when I jump on the podcast, I like to share sad stories, happy stories, experiences, encouragement, and my experiences in relationships. So I definitely do feel like speaking about it does help heal.
Okay. Two other question that kind of branches off from that. One of them is, let's say from a year from today, you end up finding the love of your life. Would you still have the same podcast material?
Yes, because I feel like if whoever is gonna be in my life obviously is gonna get to know me, you know, and because I have standards now. I might not be a guy who women would want to like match the energy or match the standards. They're probably like, okay, what's so special about him? Why does he have so many high standards? You know, if they see me in that way, then obviously they're not the one. But if
Mm-hmm.
they are open to it and they are able to, communicate with me, and I think they'll be able to accept everything that I have to say. But if I love the woman and if I know that my content makes her feel uncomfortable, then I I, I most likely will switch it up for her. Especially if we're gonna be husband and wife and we're gonna be together forever, then
Mm-hmm.
sacrifices they have to be made. And I've made sacrifices in relationships before. Some sacrifices that I didn't want to make. You
Mm-hmm.
know, hence why I don't have Instagram and all those other place things. I'm barely starting to rebuild those things because I made those type of sacrifices before, and it wasn't a problem for me if it made my partner uncomfortable. Some things actually were an issue, you know, and then
Mm-hmm.
like things like that, like social media and stuff like that. Those ones are easy to deal with, and if I need to
Mm-hmm.
miss work, that's easy to deal with. Or the right sacrifices I feel that would be beneficial, yeah, I could make those sacrifices. There's no problem. And if she doesn't like the way I speak about women on the podcast, which I feel like if she was a part of my life and she really wanted to be with me, she would understand what I'm talking about. And she would understand that there are some women out there who aren't shit, but there are some
Mm-hmm.
women out there who hold it down. And it's the
Mm-hmm.
same for men too, you know. So I don't know. I don't think I would have to switch it up for her, but if she wanted me to, then I would. And I don't
Okay.
think she would necessarily have to ask me neither. I think I would
Pick
feel
up
it,
on it.
you know. Yeah, I would imagine I would feel it if we were supposed to be together, and I would see it, and then I'd be like, you know what? I don't think I don't think I should be speaking about women in this manner.
So do you? you don't think it's a problem, right? At all, because it's
Right
your
now?
experiences. Yeah.
No, I don't feel like it's a problem. I honestly feel like
Okay.
it's the truth.
Okay. Would you create a podcast segment of the positive traits of women, like how we are? Some of us, like your mom. Let's say your mom is watching it and she wants to hear more positive stuff about women. Would you make a podcast for that? Maybe
Mm,
one.
if it was addressed to my mom or my sister, probably
So just
because I don't
know.
because I don't know all you. I don't know all you women. I know a couple of women, but my mom and my sister, I know more positive traits from my mom and my sister than negative traits. You know?
Do you have any friends or maybe like distant relatives, old coworkers, old classmates that you see positive traits as a not only a wife or a mom, but maybe as a girlfriend?
Mm, you want me to name drop a couple?
No, I'm just saying it seems like the only people you know that have positive traits and you kind of see people that are up there is your mom and your sister. You don't ever
Yeah.
mention like friends or like people up there. Like,
Well, to be honest, I don't really like to get too close to women, and I think that's another thing that I'm trying to work on because the only reason why I don't is because I have such a bad experience with women
mm-hmm,
because women lie a lot, and a lot of the reasons why I feel like I have to be super careful when I speak to women or just talk to them through through messenger or through a text
mm-hmm,
message, just anywhere. I have to be super careful because it'll be a matter of minutes, seconds when she gets hurt, and she'll decide to twist my words or lie about me if we were to ever to meet up in person by ourselves because that's happened to me before, and I don't like the way it feels when a woman can just lie about you like so easily and
mm-hmm.
not care that it'll have some type of repercussions in the man's life. They don't really give a shit. They'll just say whatever because they're in their emotions, they're in their feelings. So maybe, maybe in the future. Yeah, sorry, Lefty and his boy are here. You guys taking off? Hold on. Bye, Cohen. Come back. Make sure he comes back. Okay. Okay. He doesn't know that you leave all the time.
Fire chief, fire chief and his helper.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you guys. Anyways.
Okay,
Uh.
well, let's take a step back. I'm not talking about people that are like trying to be girlfriend kind of thing. I'm talking about like friends or like cousins or coworkers. Do you ever see that as a girlfriend that they're loyal and they're respectable, they don't lie, they don't cheat, and like do you see that besides your mom and your sister?
I had only one friend that was a girl, and
Mhm.
she was very close to me, like very, very close to me since I first met her, and that was over like I'd say like 7 years ago.
Mhm.
She was very close to me. She was one of the best friends that I had that was a girl, and I don't know. I saw her as a respectable woman. I did not like complicate her relationships. She didn't complicate my relationships. We were just friends, like really good friends, and we talk about everything together. And the moment she told me she was going to get married is the moment I stopped talking to her, and I said that um, I wish you the best. I hope your life is going to be healthy with this person, and I hope that you're happy.
Mhm.
And that's it. And then I said goodbye because I don't really like to like I wouldn't want to be a best friend with a woman who has a husband. Though she might be loyal, it's just I don't want the man to feel any type of discomfort with me
Mhm.
around. You know what I'm saying?
Which I
So
feel like that's more like a Navajo thing because that's how I felt with my late husband too. Because he had a friend that was a girl and it was a best friend. Then I had a friend that was a guy that was a best friend, and I kind of had to like let go of a few strings. Like, hey, maybe not call me as much or not text as much, and which was okay with him. But I felt like from my point of view, I didn't want any complications. But for his point of view, it was more like you can go ahead and text your best friend whenever you want, which was okay with me. Um, but do you ever see yourself maybe finding acquaintance as girls, or you just completely shut that down?
I'll be open to it. Like I said, I haven't really gotten over the shit that I'm dealing with in order to put myself in a position where I can build a relationship with a female friend or acquaintance. I feel like I have a pretty good relationship with the women who are in my life right now. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I got friends that are women, you know, and I know that they hold it down for their husbands and their girls or their boyfriends, and I know they got a good head on their shoulder. And I wouldn't say that they're like close friends. I mean, you and I, we talk. I would consider us friends, but we're not really close friends. We don't know that much about each other in order for me to be like, oh, Anna's my best friend or something, you know? Or even all the other girls that I've hosted on here, like we all know each other, but
Mm-hmm.
we don't really like know each other, you know? Like
Mm-hmm.
I know that the woman who I've hosted on here, all of you are it seems as if all of you know how to be in a relationship. You know how to hold it down and be loyal to one guy, and you know that communication is key, and you're not afraid to get married, and you're not afraid to be in a relationship or have children, you know? So I think those are positive traits in women that like you or like Navajo Mama. I really respect Navajo Mama because she's married, she has kids, she holds it
Mm-hmm.
down like she's supposed to, and she's really open about her role as a woman and her role as a father, and then her husband's role as a father or a mother. Wait, on Navajo Mama's role as a mother, and the dad being the role as a father and a husband. And you know, and there's a lot of women who are like that. A lot of women, they just are like they just know. You know, my grandma wasn't really one of those women when she was around. She was more like it was just all on her. You know, like
Mm-hmm.
everything was just she just had to hold it down, and yeah, she just had to hold it down on her own and just do her own thing. I know that a lot of people in the I'm looking at the comments and people are calling me sexist right now. And it's it's um it's fine if people view me as misogynistic or sexist, and that's something that I'm okay with people calling me because I've been called worse. Honestly, it doesn't really bother me that someone would assume that I'm sexist or misogynistic. Um, and honestly, I believe that I am pretty sexist to a certain point, but it doesn't mean that I think any less of women or think of any more of a man. You know,
Except that we're all liars, right?
that's not what I said. See now, what you're doing is
Guys,
you're
come on. You got my back. Replay what he said.
no. That's what I was just explaining to you. The reason why I jump on the podcast and I
Mm-hmm.
say that it shouldn't have to be my duty to explain to you that I'm saying, okay, Onnalyn, I'm gonna call women liars, but just to warn you, I don't want you to take it personal. I shouldn't have to say that. Are you a liar?
No.
Okay. So if I just say women are liars, then you don't have to put yourself in that category because you're not a liar.
Some. It doesn't hurt to say some women's are liar. It literally does not hurt to say some.
Well, now you're controlling what I have to say and what I can't, what
No,
I can
I'm
and
just
can't say.
speaking on behalf of a lot of women because I feel like based off of your past experience, it's just kind of shadowing over everybody. They're just like this black cloud that is on top of you, and we want to be able to talk to you, but without you thinking like, oh, she's lying. Oh, she's like this and she's like that. That's why I asked you, do you have maybe some acquaintance that can shed some light or put a sun over you every now and then? Because
I probably could if I'd allowed
if you
myself
want
to do that.
more, huh?
I probably could if I allowed myself. But you got to understand that the only reason why it's the way it is now for me is because the people who I allowed into my life have shown that they're liars.
Mm-hmm.
And how am I supposed? It's just like you, right? Or not just you, but it's like a lot of ladies when they get into a relationship, they already have a barrier, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's already a from the get go when they start to get to know a native man, then there's already so many negative thoughts about them, a lot of negative words about them. It's already there,
Mm-hmm.
regardless of how awesome the guy is. It's
Mm-hmm.
already there. So it's the same for us. It's like if we become friends with a woman and try to just, be cool with them, somewhere along the way, like it's like a trust issue kind of thing. And for me, the trust issue was so deep that I just completely don't allow it to happen because I don't want that whole thing to happen all over again. Then I'm gonna have to deal with it, and then it's gonna be like, so why the fuck did you even need acquaintances in the beginning? Why did you
Mm-hmm.
even need a female friend in the beginning? Like, I don't
Mm-hmm.
actually need a female friend, so I'm like, why did I have to put myself through all of this again? It's just like I'm preparing myself for the worst in the most extreme way, which is just not letting it happen.
So sometimes you bring stuff that happened in the past to the new one then.
Well, a friendship, yeah, but a relation. What are we talking about? Friendships or relationship?
Everything with females. Like any type of, because you said you reset every single time.
Well, with a friendship, oh, the relationship, yeah. With the
Mm-hmm.
relationship is different. But if it's a friend thing, I'm not like that just for women. I'm like that for guys too, because I had to cut off a lot of guy friends who were liars too. A lot of
Which
men.
is understandable. I did that too. I cut off a lot of negative people, a lot of people that have lied, even family. I have cut off family, and I started
Hmm.
filtering my friends out. I started filtering the negative people out, and now I feel like I'm more happier. I'm less stressed. Depending or before, I'm like, man, if I tell this person something, it's gonna go around and it's gonna become this big old issue. Or if I trust this person, and like now, I don't need to think about that. I already know, like, if I call Sarah and talk to her about something, of course she's a really good friend. That she's one of the friends that I filtered into my life. So even guys, like I filtered guy friends into my life that I feel like would benefit me, would help me grow, would help me teach things,
Hmm.
would help me learn things actually. So
Hmm.
my question now is, the way you feel, the way you have your mindset, do you think that's like set permanently, or do you think it's there's some more stuff that you can learn and grow from? Like maybe
I've,
like,
I've,
I know native men don't really do this, but like therapy, talking to somebody more professional, getting more advices opposed to then just what you've been through and then just keeping that. I feel like you're just going in a circle, in a circle.
I feel like I feel like we're all getting off on the wrong foot. I feel like we're all misunderstanding me. Me. I feel like people are misunderstanding me. I don't think I feel like
I feel like you've been hurt so bad that you're holding a lot of frustration and a lot of hurt in, that you're trying to talk about it, but sometimes you say it the wrong way. And a lot of people that watch you support you. So that's why we're still coming back. We're still watching your lives. You were still watching your
Mhm.
listening to your podcast. Like we're trying to see where you're gonna start growing from. Where maybe he needs help or maybe he needs a friend. So that's why I was asking like are you gonna like make friends or do you have friends or
No, I appreciate the support and I appreciate people being concerned. And if that's the only reason why people are coming back, I would rather
that
them
that's
not.
I'm not saying that's the only reason why. I'm just saying that you have loyal
And
fans,
if,
you have
yeah,
loyal
if that's the
supporting
reason
people.
some people are coming back, then I would rather them not come back at all. Because first of all, I don't need anybody to feel sorry for me. I am
Hmm.
a man, and if I need someone to talk to, I'll talk to Lefty. And if Lefty is not around and I really need to talk to somebody, I'll talk to my mom or I'll talk to my sister. As far as therapy, I've tried it before, but it didn't work out for me. I went like twice, and I don't know, it just didn't work out for me. I was I don't know if people know, but I was actually diagnosed with depression and
Hmm.
anxiety when I went to the hospital, and they
Hmm.
told me that I needed to seek therapy and speak to a therapist, and I did, but I don't know if I just didn't give it enough time. I did go back twice, and it just didn't feel like it was right for me to be there. And the only people they had available are white people. And I don't know if it's just a prideful thing or if it just runs in my blood, but I don't really want to tell a white person my insecurities, my feelings. So I would rather be, if I spoke to a native, maybe a Navajo man or even a Navajo woman, I could I could open up a little bit more and talk to them.
Do
But
you think
I want to
do
make
you,
it clear to everybody that I do not hate women. Okay, I just want to make that clear. I don't hate women. I love women. I've been with women my entire life. I just don't appreciate some of their values and some of the way they carry themselves and how they're so quick to jump on a Navajo man's back and make them out to be a bad guy just because they don't like something that I said or the way I approached the situation or some of the words that I chose to use or chose not to use.
mhm.
And it's like, I don't appreciate when they do that. So it's not that I hate women. I don't hate women. I have kids. I love women. I have a mom and I have a sister. I've had several relationships in my life. So I don't know why someone would assume that I hate women. It just doesn't make sense. Just because I didn't say some women.
No, if you put yourself in a woman's shoe, I think you would understand, but I feel like you're not putting yourself in other people's shoes. You're just kind of
You know what? You know what people say about.
somebody called again. Hold on, I'll be right back.
All right, take your time. Okay, we are waiting for Onnalyn to come back. Let me see. We didn't read some of these comments here. Oh, oh
Somebody
no,
said
that
hi.
that Navajo Mama retracted some of her comments, but Sierra Johnson said, "I must not be paying attention, but I never realized how sexist you are about women."
See, that's what I was trying to come across. I don't think you ever like take a step back and put yourself in someone else's position and maybe listen to what you talk about. Like if I were to get Lefty on the live, do you think he'll have the same mindset as you
No,
since you guys are like a
no, he
couple?
would not. No, he
So
would
then,
not because I talk to Lefty the way I talk to him, and he doesn't
mhm.
agree with a lot of things that I say. So
Does he talk to you and does any of that like go through your mind and be like, maybe I should try that, maybe I should kind of thing, or you just like completely shut everything down?
I mean, there's nothing that no advice that he gives me to where I'm like, maybe I should try that out. There's
Maybe you need new
no.
friends then. You need new people around you. You poor little
What would
thing.
you what would you say that I could try out? What are
You could
you referring
try
to?
like different advices. Like I said, new acquaintances. Like maybe sometimes call me and say, "Hey, this is I'm thinking about something like this.
Right, right.
How is your point of view?" I'm pretty sure you went through something like there's other girls, there's other maybe like your old teachers or coworkers or just maybe a bystander walking by and get other people's opinion about certain things. So when I see you is like you're set in stone with everything. Everything that you've experienced, I understand and I'm very sorry you went through all of that. But there's more to learn every single day. And I feel like since you said you put up your standards, hopefully this will never happen again because all the girls that you apparently dated really fucked you over. But you can't really do much about it because you have kids with them. So I understand that part. Um, I,
Well,
I don't know what else. I don't know how else to say it. That there's more
well,
resources out there.
okay. So, first of all, I feel like we're addressing all of my content, right? On Spotify and
Hmm.
on YouTube. That's what we're addressing, right? Just those.
Yeah, because on your live you don't talk like that. On your vlogs you don't talk like that. You're like a whole different person in every single social media.
Yeah. So, there's a lot about me that people don't know. I mean, just the other day I shared with the all the YouTube community that I have that I get cold sores. So it's
Mm-hmm.
not a sexual type of thing. It's just like type 1 herpes. And I get it when I stress out or when I'm in the heat too much, and then I start to break out. So there's a lot of things that I choose to share on my social media, and there's a lot of things that I don't choose to share on social media.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the reasons why I share what I share is for the men to know that they're not alone in the things that they are experiencing, even as far as relationships. Because everybody knows it that men don't have a lot of resources out here, and they don't really know how to be emotional. They don't know how to be vulnerable, and they don't know how to seek out support. So in a way, they are supporting me by listening to what I have to say, and I want them to know that it's not just them who are dealing with it, whatever they're dealing with. It's also I've done it. I've experienced it too, and I've experienced horrible relationships, good relationships. I experienced hate and I experienced love. I experienced so much that I want to share that with people.
Mm-hmm.
And like I stated before, it's I know it does probably sound hurtful. Now when I pause and when I'm thinking like now, it's only because I'm being careful with what I have to say. And you can even hear me being like pause in my podcast too, because I pause and I think about what I say before I say it. And a lot of times it might just sound like I'm just talking shit or saying whatever comes to my mind, but that's not the case because I try to think about what I say before I say it. And even on the
Mm-hmm.
podcast that people think I'm so sexist on. But men, I'm trying to encourage them that even though the relationship might have been fucked up, even I don't know the situation that happened between them and the people that they've been with, but I want them to know that I've experienced it too in my life. And
Mm-hmm.
just because I experienced it didn't mean that I had to resort to like drugs and alcohol. And
Mm-hmm.
rather than that, I'm like basically a living testament to those guys that I'm trying to grow from all those situations and be by myself and be alone in this point in my life. And it might not seem to the public that I'm doing any type of growing because of the content that I release, but in actuality, I feel and I know that I have grown so much in my life, and I have grown in different ways. I've grown in like intelligence. I've grown in communication. I've grown in content. It might not be a huge growth, but for me, every single day is basically a huge step. So every single day is like growth for me. And to be by myself and to learn to be by myself and to learn to fall in love with myself, then that's growth within itself. And I feel like every man should know. And if they are in a situation, a bad situation because of a horrible relationship, I want them to know also that because I've been there, I'm not using that pain to hurt myself more. I'm trying to use that pain to heal myself and fall in love with myself more. And I can't stress enough when I say that it is not my job or my duty to clarify anything on my podcasts or my videos for people, because when I speak about women and I say, man, y'all need to get your shit together. And if you truly feel like that applies to you, then I really honestly feel that maybe you should get your shit together. And the same for the guys. I say shit about dudes too, but it doesn't probably stick to a lot of women who listen, because what women are listening to is like what applies to them the most, right? That's what a lot of people listen to when they listen to podcasts. They want to figure out
Mm-hmm.
what applies to them the most. And when I say shit about men, I'm like, come on, y'all, you stop fucking drinking. Like, don't cheat on your wives, yo. Don't be in DMs. Like, I say those things, and then I'm pretty sure a lot of men aren't in everybody's DMs. Some of them probably are, and if it applies to them, then I'm talking to them. I'm saying, yo, stay the fuck out of girls' DMs. You know, it's a
Mm-hmm.
like a general thing. But I can't stress enough to everybody that thinks that I hate women. Like, dude, come on, I don't fucking hate women. That's kind of funny to me that someone would say that, and I do think I'm sexist in some scenarios. I really
I
believe
think
that
it's
women
just
have
the
a.
way you word things. That's probably why a lot of people not assume
I
that just because you said it, but it's the way you word things.
I do believe that some women don't know how to drive. I do believe that men know how to drive way more, like way better than women. That's probably something that someone could call me sexist for. I do believe that I do believe that women are more patient than men are, and people can call me sexist for that too. Sexist against women or men, you can say. I do believe that women do a better job at raising kids, and if they want to call me sexist toward men, then they can do that too if they wish. And I do believe that men are able to withstand physical, more physical labor.
Ability.
I do believe
Mm-hmm.
that. Yeah, and they're obviously stronger. Majority of men are stronger than women, and if they want to call me sexist for that, then they're more than welcome to call me sexist for that too. See, there's certain things that I know that men are more capable than women, and then
Mm-hmm.
there are certain things that women are more capable than men. That's just facts. If you see, it's just facts, and um, even emotional. Like, women are more emotional in different ways than men are. We're emotional too, but we're emotional angry. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and
Which
when
has a
men
lot to do
cry,
with how you were brought up.
yeah, and a lot of men are that way. A lot of men are that way.
Mm-hmm.
Too many men are that way, and I feel like just saying it in itself, just to say what people already know, and then people pick at things and make it into something completely different because they don't
Mm-hmm.
understand, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But
Okay. My
you honestly think I was sexist, Onnalyn? Do you think I'm like, do you?
when I talk to you over the phone or when we talk in person, you were not this type of person. You were like this guy filled with just love that just loves the world and just you're just like the happiest person. But then when I'm listening to your podcast, I'm like, damn, there's like so much more to this guy than I thought. Why can't I talk to this guy in person? Where is he at? It's like you bottled
Well,
this
you
guy
had an
down.
opportunity the other day, but you didn't hit me up when you were here. That was the thing.
Are we still talking
If
about
you
that?
If you really wanted to have a conversation with this guy, you would have been like,
No,
"Bro,
I was
I'm
like,
in
I'm gonna
Albuquerque.
wait
Let's hit
until
it
Wednesday. You can
up."
talk to me for a few hours on Wednesday.
If I went to Phoenix, do you think I would have hit you up?
Sometimes you don't, which is during like your quick trips. That's understandable. That was
I
one of my
rarely
quick
take
trips.
trips to Albuquerque.
I didn't know like we were gonna go to Albuquerque until the morning of, well, the afternoon of, maybe about like 1 o'clock. My dad is like, "Hey,
Uh-huh.
let's go towards Albuquerque because I got free play." So I was like, "Okay, let's go." And with myself, I don't need to be back at home at a certain time because I work
Right,
on the road. I work wherever I go.
right.
Um, so I'm like, okay, let's go do that. And then we just took off to Albuquerque. And next thing you know, I'm like driving. And I'm like, hey, I know a few people in Albuquerque, but I don't think I have the time to even meet up with anybody because I have all of the girls with me. They all want to go
Uh,
swimming. My dad wants to go to the casino. It's already like 8 o'clock. So by like 11 o'clock, we were all out. 7 o'clock in the morning, we took off again because I have to drive all the way back home. We didn't get home until 3 o'clock Tuesday morning.
you
And
don't
I
think I
did
like to
not.
swim?
um, you don't look like a swimming type of person.
You know what? You're right. I don't swim, but I would love to swim.
So, I don't know that much of guys that's ever swim. To think about it,
You know why
I
it
know
is?
why.
Here's another generalization, everybody. Here's another time to call me sexist. Native men were ashamed of our bodies. Well, we don't like that tan, man. It looks like we're wearing a fucking white shirt or a white wife beater.
I think a lot of it has to do with we don't have access to swimming pools back home. All we have is a ditch, a wash. That's
Yeah,
all
yeah,
we have.
and a lot of us, yeah, that's where we learned how to swim when we were younger too. But
Yeah, I have one brother
um,
that does not like the water, does not like to swim. And then I have my youngest brother that's like a dolphin that can just go on forever. But he has access to swimming pools.
yeah,
But that's
swimming is
why.
swimming. You gotta be gifted to know how to swim. My daughter is a swimmer, even though she's two.
Hmm.
I watch her swim all the time.
Just cute.
Well,
Yeah.
sometimes, not all the time, but yeah.
Mine was suicidal that evening. I was watching your live, and then next thing you know, she just jumped over and jumped into the water. Luckily, when my brother was there and he caught her, and I'm like, "Why do you do that? You don't even know how to swim." She usually wears the vest, so she probably thought she was wearing the vest, and she just jumped in. So that's why I had to exit off of your live.
Did you jump in and you saved her?
My brother did. So afterwards,
Mm.
I wouldn't. Big pieces. I don't like showing my rolls.
Do you think you're a liar or are you a very truthful person?
Um, I feel like I don't know how to lie, especially the people that know me, like Z and George and my dad. If I were to lie in front of them, I would probably my eyes would get watery. I'll be all shaky, and my story would not align. George is like
Mm.
she lies a lot. Yeah, that's me. I'm terrible at lying. So the prank that I did with my family, that one was very hard because it was hard for me to lie that I was in jail. But as far as like joking wise, like playing a
Hmm.
prank, I could do that. I could
Mm.
play and lie about something during a joke. But as a person, lying that's never been one of my strongest traits. Honestly, I
You don't
think
consider pranking lying?
I consider it as a funny joke.
Not lying though.
No,
So you're not a
it's
liar.
I'm not a liar. No,
Do you think it's okay to cheat?
no, I don't think it's okay to cheat. I don't understand how people, especially if you're married,
Hmm.
there's a lot of signs before the cheating starts. You should already know the signs. Sometimes people are very manipulative
Oh, my favorite
and
word.
that they they're very good at it where you skip the
Uh-huh.
signs.
Uh-huh.
So I think talking to them in advance before cheating, like, hey, I'm not happy, that would
Hey,
be
I'm
a
about to
lot
cheat.
easier. Yeah, like,
Yeah.
hey, I want to be with you. I really want to be with this person. Then that just cut it off there.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't I've never really understood that part. Um, so
You
no,
think it's okay to lie? I mean, to steal?
I steal from my sisters. We'll steal like shirts from each other, but no.
Oh, okay, okay. Just for you. Oh, I thought you said I steal from my sisters.
No, as sisters, we kind of like take pins from each other or like favorite sweaters. Oh, see, by the way, I have two of your sweaters. I forgot to get back to you. We went to go watch The Exorcist, and I was like, "Hey, we need sweaters." We ran in there, and I grabbed two sweaters, and I forgot to give it back. It's still in the car.
Hmm. Do you think
Stuff
it's
like that.
okay
Fine.
to do you think it's okay to when someone is vulnerable to you and tells you secrets, do you think it's okay to throw that back in their face to hurt them?
No, I do not ever do that ever. Um, I have a best friend actually. He has a lot of secrets, and we became really good best friends. That I've seen him go through relationships, and that's the one thing they always did was throw everything back in his face, and I know that really hurt him. That like shuts
Mhm.
him down. Like the trust just keeps breaking and breaking and breaking. But I always say like have people on in your little bubble to talk to. And I always tell him like whenever you go through situations like that, because right now I know he's in a relationship where his girlfriend cheated on him a couple times already, but he's still
Mhm.
there because of the baby, which is one of the other things I do not agree with too.
Mhm.
Um, but I always talk to him like, hey, maybe you should talk to your cousin because there's a lot of stuff that I may talk to you about that's not going to stick in your mind, but maybe someone else that says it to you in a different way may help you. So I always tell him like reach out for different resources, even like therapy. He's done
Mhm.
therapy for like maybe a good 2 months, but it wasn't
Mhm.
because of the trust. It was because of something else.
Mhm. So you're pretty much set in those ways where you don't lie, you don't steal, you don't cheat, and you
I've
don't.
learned a lot. I have been that person before. I have cheated. I have lied. I have stolen. I have like I've learned and I've blossomed.
Oh.
I've
Uh-huh.
I've changed so much.
Mhm.
Like I stopped so much just to become a better person, and especially when I met Chan, like I
Mhm.
literally stopped the drinking part. It wasn't an issue. It was more like once every 2 3 months we'll go out and have fun, but that
Mhm.
wasn't so hard for me to stop. And I feel like it was because he was the one person to stop for.
Mhm.
So
So
maybe like,
since you learned so much from your life, now you know that it's wrong to lie, it's wrong to cheat, it's
mm-hmm,
wrong to steal, and it's wrong to use someone's vulnerability against them. So,
mm-hmm,
since you know that about yourself, right? You're pretty solid in that.
mm-hmm.
And when I jump on my podcast and I say something like, "Y'all women need to stop lying," how do you apply that to yourself?
I don't apply that to myself, but when you say all of you women need to stop lying, then I'm like, okay, how do I apply myself to that? But if you say some of you women need to stop cheating and need to stop lying, and I'm like, yeah, you guys do. You need to stop cheating. There's resources. There's going to church. There's talking to somebody. There's filtering out your bubble. Like there's all these different. Like if I can do it, anybody can do it. But like I said, it's
Mhm.
just the way you say it.
So if I said on my podcast tomorrow and I say, "Y'all women need to stop lying," would you take that personal?
Yes, because you said y'all woman. But if you say some of you woman, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I know who. Because I know the way
But
you
are you a
talk about
liar?
woman, the way you talk about woman, I know one person that you apply all of that to is to that one person because I know she's that type of person. Everybody sees her as that type of person. But when you say all of you women lie, then I'm like, damn, what did I do to you?
But what?
Chill
But
out.
are you a liar?
I'm not a liar.
Okay. So next time you hear a podcast, okay, and if I say something like "Y'all women need to stop lying," I don't want to tell you what to do, but if I was you, I would self-reflect within that quick 5 seconds and ask myself, am I a liar? No, because I already learned that lying is bad. And then just
Hmm.
go on because it doesn't apply to you when I say y'all women are liars and you're not a liar. It's just like saying all you native men need to stop drinking. And I'm like, fuck yeah, they need to stop drinking because I know I
Yeah,
don't drink.
because that definitely don't even apply to you at all because you've never drank in your life.
Exactly. It doesn't
But
apply to me, so I don't take it personal.
you are like the most hard-headed person I ever met. Just
No, no.
switching up little vocabulary to help with all the issues that we have, you don't want to do.
Some issues that you have, you don't have. You women don't have every issue. There's a lot of things
No,
that
I'm
women don't
asking
have.
just for one, just to switch up your vocabulary. That's it. Then I
Oh,
would understand everything you're talking about. But now I just feel like your
you know what?
mind is on my fit
I'm gonna
constantly.
re-listen to some of those podcasts, and I know for a fact that a lot of the times I clarify and I say some of you women. I know I say that in some of the podcasts. And
Hmm.
do you honestly, like deep down in the bottom of your heart, deep down in your core, do you honestly believe that I need to add some in there before I say woman?
Yeah, some.
That's how you feel, like really, really, like real feel,
That's how
really, really
everybody
feel.
feels. Everybody. It's not just me. That's what I mean. Like, are you willing to accept other people's opinions? Other people's, like, maybe the way you talk to women? Like, are you able to accept other people, like your acquaintances, like I was talking about, accept their
Mhm.
feedback?
Yeah, I mean, all feedback is good, you know?
Maybe this
So
is your you maybe this is the good perfect time to grow. Maybe this is the next
maybe
step.
maybe it is because I didn't know I literally had to hold people's hands and walk them through some of the things that I talk about. I didn't know that I had to do that because I thought the majority of my listeners were able enough to just, you know, like articulate what I'm trying to say. Like I'm trying to speak about a certain group of women, and then I figured that it's like one of those like those what the hell is those things called in front of the windows? Um, you put it in front of the window, you kind of shake it, and then it kind of
Flower
dribbles down the
pot.
smoke.
I
No,
don't
no,
know.
no. It's like you put a bunch of dirt in something and you shake it, and everything falls out, and the solid stuff stays on top.
Uh-huh.
It's like that, right? And then I get on the podcast, and I guess I just assume that people will take what applies to them and what doesn't apply to them. Because that's what I do when I listen to podcasts. I don't take everything personal, and I try to just kind of shake it out and then take what applies to me. That's what I thought that happens when I speak on my podcast. I figured that people would be like, "Oh shit, yeah, a lot of women do lie." So luckily, I don't lie. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's what I thought. I mean, if there's growth there, if I have to grow there, and then always apply some woman, then I think that maybe
Literally just that one word will change a lot of people because a lot of people are just like, this guy is sexist. But if you say some woman, then everybody's gonna be like, all right, let's sit back down. Then we would
yeah.
understand, like, hey, he's talking to a group of other people, not us. Because a lot of stuff that you talk about in your podcast, I try to relate to understand where you're
Mm,
coming from. So if you say all you women lie, how am I going to try to relate to that? Now I'm just like, you're targeting me. I'm over here trying to stand by
you
you
don't
and try to
relate to it
understand.
because you're not a liar. That's the thing. You don't relate to it because you're not a liar. You shouldn't have to try to relate to me calling all women liars.
Okay.
You know
Well,
what I'm saying?
yeah, but you're not understanding anything that I'm talking about. Let's just leave it as you're not willing to switch up your words. You are set in
Yeah, I'm
stone
not.
to your beliefs and the way you see and portray women. We'll just leave it just like that. We just want to understand why you're like this, why you say this, why you act like why
now you
why is
now
your
you're
mindset
making
like
it
this?
seem like Now you're making it, you're twisting it now. Now people are gonna assume that I'm super sexist to every woman when you say that we're gonna leave it like that. You're set in stone in your ways. You're not gonna learn. So the thing about it is that I will I will do the best I can, but I will not change up my vocabulary to please a certain demographic of people. I will not have people control the way I speak and how I express the way I feel about my experiences. I will not switch it up or dumb it down just for the sake of a couple of people's opinions about me. I will not do it. And the reason why I won't do it is because, well, first of all, it's my platform. And if people don't want to listen to it, that's totally fine. I totally get it. I understand. I'm not going to be sad about it. It's cool. And the second reason is because I wouldn't want to I wouldn't want for my children to watch me because this live is gonna stay up. I don't no matter how bad it might make me look, this live is gonna stay up. I don't want my children to watch me one day and say, "Yo, dad just switched up the way he speaks to please other people that might not agree with his opinions or who might not agree with who might not have experienced what he experienced. Why did he switch up just to please a couple of people?" And that's another reason why I feel like I won't switch up how I speak, and I think I'll continue to say y'all women, y'all men, but I feel like now that people are watching this live, they'll have a better understanding of when I say those type of things. And I feel like now some of the ladies on the live, they can understand that I'm not speaking about them if they know they don't lie, if they know they don't cheat, if they don't steal. It doesn't apply to them. So I don't understand why they would get so offended by it. And same for the men. Some of the men on here, when I say y'all men drink too much or y'all smoke too much, like things like that. Like if it doesn't apply to them, then it shouldn't apply to them. So um yeah, I don't think I will. I mean, I'll take it into consideration. Maybe I'll say sometimes, but I wouldn't say it every single time. But I just would want people to dissect the podcast and then just take what's relatable and then just listen to it and say, man, this guy has a different opinion than I do or something like that, rather than rather than trying to like call me misogynistic or sexist and all that stuff. I feel like everybody is sexist and misogynistic in some ways. It's just different because I choose to share my opinions on a platform. That's the only thing that's different between me and everybody else. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's do a live from today to next year today, and I want to see where your mindset is at. That would be
Okay.
interesting.
Yeah, because we're always growing, we're always evolving.
Mm-hmm.
So one of these days, maybe I might not see it the way I see it now. Maybe someday I might really meet somebody who will change my views, you know?
See, that's
And
what I mean. Are you willing to change? And you're like, no. See,
well,
you're willing to change.
I'm not willing to change my words. I will
I
not
was talking
speak
about your
how
mindset. Like, are you willing to change your mindset opposed to what we just talked about? But in everything, are you willing to accept some change?
I am willing to accept some change. And I feel like if I wasn't willing to accept any change, then I'd just be the same old person that I've always been. Like I feel like everybody needs to grow eventually. And like I said
Mm-hmm.
before, I have grown. I know I have
Mm-hmm.
grown. I've seen growth in myself. So yeah, I am willing to change. I'm willing to evolve and stuff. But I will not I will not stop saying certain things that I believe in just to please people. And if they're offended by it, I will not switch it up just because their feelings got hurt. But in general, I am open to change. If it's positive, if it's good, then yeah. If I feel like it'll benefit me and everyone that's around me, then yeah. I don't see a problem in anybody like switching it up. But I'm
Okay.
not
Are you
gonna
like
switch up
that?
my words.
Are you like that in a relationship?
um,
Like if a girl says, "I don't like the way you talk to me," maybe you may change your tone when you talk to me. Do you like take that into consideration? Like, maybe I should change my tone. Like, are you like that in person in a relationship?
I have been, yeah. Sometimes, a lot of the times, I don't even see it. I don't notice it because I've always been the type of person to say what I feel and the way I express how I feel. I've always been the type to just do it and just to say it. And I know that in some relationships that I've been in, some people have told me that I have been very aggressive with my words and my tone.
Mm-hmm.
And I always felt like I always felt like I tried to switch it up. I tried to be more calm. I tried to be more because it's hard, right? It's hard when you think you're just speaking normally. It's hard when you just think you're speaking normally. It's just the way I speak. And then someone says, "Whoa, like why are you so aggressive with your tone?" And I'm like, "Well, what do you mean I'm so aggressive with my tone?" It's almost as if the way I speak is the way I speak, and if they felt
Mm-hmm.
like it was aggressive, then I'm just like, well, I guess that's on you. Like, why would I be aggressive? Sometimes it's not even in a aggressive moment. It's like in a happy moment,
Mm-hmm.
and then I would say something, probably like out of excitement or something, and then I'm like, and then they think it's aggressive. It's like, well, I wasn't even trying to be aggressive, but I have tried to be less aggressive with my tones. I know that sometimes, like in some past relationships, I have I've had to like tone it down a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
but there was one relationship that I was in where this woman accepted me for everything that I was, and she knew how I spoke on my videos and how I spoke in person,
Mm-hmm.
and she accepted all of it. She didn't have an issue with it, and I fucked that one up. But it, there are people out there who are willing to accept me for who I am, you know? And I
Mm-hmm.
feel like the people who have been in my life who thought I was super aggressive or whatever, then they weren't ready for I am because we all link with the person who we were meant for, right?
Mm-hmm.
Weren't you linked with the person you were meant for?
Yeah. I felt like I did some growing too from the relationship prior. The
Hmm.
relation, the relation. Well, let me go back. My first relationship, it was more of I was controlled. I was manipulated. I was talked down. I was treated more like a child. So I didn't really get that relationship, the half and half role. It was more like you're gonna have to do this around this time. You're gonna have to pick me up and drop me off, and which is like a mile down the road, and I'm like maybe an hour away. So I was like more forced to do things. So when I
Hmm.
left that relationship, I have to, like you said, reset. And I'm like, is this how relationships supposed to be? I looked
How
at
long were
other
you in that
people's.
relationship?
I was in that relationship for like 9 years.
Was he like that the whole 9 years?
No, through high school, he was not that type of person. After high
Hmm.
school started to change, that's when I felt like we were away from family. So he kind of
Hmm.
took over, I guess, try to play the daddy role. But once
Was
I
it just him
reset.
that changed, or do you feel like you changed too in that relationship in those 9 years?
No, I don't feel like I've changed, but maybe the way I reacted to certain things that he may have said, like a lot of stuff was just negativity, and along the way, you're not gonna take so much more. So slowly, I started shutting down. I stopped
Hmm.
expressing my opinions. I started um, keeping to myself, and even with like being the family, in my family I'm more of the funny one, the jokester one, and I like to bring my family together. I feel like he
Hmm.
drained everything out of me where I became a whole different person. Like I was
Hmm.
always upset, I was always crying, I was not happy, I didn't want to go to school anymore. So when I left that relationship, I started reflecting like, hey, is this how a relationship's supposed to work? Which at the time I did not fully reset, because when I went into the next relationship, how I was treated is how I started treating the guy. But
Mhm.
I felt like my reason was because the guy did not want to go to work. The guy wanted to play video games. The guy wanted me to provide everything. So I felt like I put myself in that men's role. So I always talked down on the guy because, like, you're
Mhm.
not trying to help me here. You're not trying to be in a relationship. You just want me to provide everything for you and not do nothing. So
Yeah.
that kind of like messed me up. And I was in that relationship for like maybe 5 years, 4.5 years. So I felt like I didn't do a lot of reflecting between that first and second relationship. So when I got out of that relationship, I literally just reflected on my life. I finally started going to church. I started doing more outdoor activities like hiking and just sightseeing and stuff like that. um, I started working more. I started attending more programs, and I was like trying to find myself. I started filtering out my friends to see who's the one
Mhm.
that's actually there for me. So that's when that all that change happened, and it took like a whole year to finally figure out who I was. And then I
Mhm.
felt like when I met Chan, I was ready. That's when I was
Mhm.
ready. Like even if it was to make a change, like stop drinking, like I was willing to change because I felt like I found the one to change for.
Mhm.
Um, Chan is more. He was more of like a. Oh, let me describe how he looked. 6'3". I don't know if you've seen any of the pictures. 6'3", bulky guy, deep voice. He looks intimidating. Everybody thought he was a football player or a UFC fighter.
Mhm.
But when you actually talked to him, total opposite. He,
Mhm.
of course, he still had the traits like being not overprotective, but being protective, voice his opinion all the time. But I kind of figured he wasn't that type of person because of the way he looked.
Mhm.
Um, but until I got to know him, he was the most funniest, awesomest guy you can ever meet. Everybody that came across him loved him. But I feel like him being raised up by just his mom and his grandma, he developed this putting himself into a woman's shoe. So every time we
Mhm.
got into like a little dispute, instead of saying like lashing back, like, oh, well, I didn't say that, it was more like, I'm sorry that it came out that way. Let's try to, how would you, how did it sound to you, or how can I change the way I say things? Like we were willing to change the way we spoke to each other. And then finally we came to a point, it only took like a couple weeks. It came to a point where we're comfortable with talking to each other. Like our voices weren't intimidating, like you said. The
Mhm.
way he said things, it was completely different than the way he used to say things, which I felt like blossomed the relationship. It made the relationship more solid. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, I felt like just knowing myself was the key, and willing to change was the key. So now I feel like I'm not ready. I don't know myself as much as I thought I used to. And just being by myself, doing things by myself, it actually feels comforting, but I don't want to be like to a point where I don't need men anymore. Like I'm waiting to get that feeling
Mhm.
back. Then eventually I'll get back out there.
You're just not ready right now.
I'm just not ready, and I don't want to. I feel like if I were to get into a relationship right now, the old Anna might come back out. The jealous, the one that I buried a long time ago, the jealousy might come back out. A
Yeah.
lot has to play with. A lot has to. It comes from my self appearance. Like I'm not fully happy. And then especially with my daughter, like my focus is just on her. How am I going to get into a relationship when my focus is just on her? Like I'm not able to multitask. Like I said the other day, like I really suck at that. Like there's a lot of stuff
Right.
I still have to work
To
on.
learn on. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And what really helps me out since Sarah popped up, she helps me out a lot, especially with being a mom. And she lives out here, so I get a lot of ideas. Some stuff that she says, or some stuff that she says with her kids. I'm like, "Man, maybe I should start talking like that. Maybe I should have that mindset. Let me try this." So I would go home, and then my parenting hat would change a little bit. So just little
Yeah,
things I pick up from people around me to make me
yeah.
become this person. I'm never that person to where I'm set in stone and I'm not going to change the way I think. I'm more of a, let me try that. Maybe that'll help me kind of thing.
Mm. Wait, you said you're really set in stone in your ways, but now
No,
you're
I
starting
said
to. Oh,
I don't want to be. I'm not that
oh,
type
okay,
of
okay,
person. I'm
okay.
more of a sponge. I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try that. So I think that
Hmm.
plays a lot with. I'm willing to try new food. I'm willing to try new things. Like that's just always
Willing to
been
eat
me. Let
snakes.
me try that.
How
Jealous on his pilot. Okay.
how long were you in that relationship? When did you check out? You said you were in that relationship for 9 years, and then he
Mhm.
started to treat you differently,
Mhm.
a way you didn't want to be treated. How long did you stay with him after that treatment started?
Um, maybe about maybe about 3 years.
Hmm.
About 3 years.
Why did you stay with him that long?
One, because I didn't have anybody out here. I was out here. I
By
felt like I
yourself?
was out here by myself, but I did have
Hmm.
family, but it wasn't in strong enough family. Like me and George weren't as close. Me and Rezi weren't as close. I just
Hmm.
knew that they lived here, but I didn't know where they lived at. I had brothers that lived out here, but I wasn't the type of person to be like, "Hey, can I come over? He's beating on me." Even like I even expressed to them like, "Hey, he's hitting me." They didn't do nothing about it. So, and then to run back home to my dad and to tell him, like, hey, he's beating on me again, I felt like it was a disappointment to him. Like, I didn't want to disappoint him ever. And he
Hmm.
thought that I was living the life, that I was so happy. He thought, like, I found the one and we're going to get married and have grandkids. But he never
Hmm.
thought in a million years that I had a big black eye. Um, I was stabbed, sleeping in the hospital parking lot. So like I felt like a lot of the time it was more like I don't know where to go. Let me see if this becomes better. But along the way I just learned to not go home, so I worked so much. I went to school and then I worked afterwards just to avoid going home. And that's what really kind of pushed a couple years is just to
Hmm.
avoid the person.
But you were loyal to him too, right? You were
Yeah,
super
I
respectful
was
to
I
him
was
and
very
everything.
loyal. Um, Respectful part, I think a lot of it was just shutting down, not cussing him out. It was just more like, I'm not even gonna bother. I'm just gonna sit here and go ahead and just cuss me out.
Hmm.
So I don't know if everybody else taught this, but you treat other people as the way you want to be treated. And that's how I treat everybody. I treat everybody the way I want to be treated.
Hmm.
She beat him back. No, I didn't. No,
So
I didn't.
yeah, that guy was a piece of shit. And unfortunately, the men are like that. There's a lot of men in
Mhm,
this world who aren't able to appreciate a good woman, you know?
mhm,
And I already know men who play too many video games. I mean, not unless they're making millions of dollars. Even if they are, a lot of them don't know how to do other things that men are supposed to do, you know? So
mhm,
there's men out there who are like that. And those type of men, yeah, they piss me off. Cause I don't believe a man should be inside the house playing video games all fucking day. And I don't believe um I don't believe men should just be giving their ladies, you know, black eyes and shit, you know.
mhm,
But even in that scenario, even in that, there's different things to that, I'm sure. And a lot of people, it's really easy. I'm just not this not directed to you, but it's really easy for women to say things like that, and then everybody just completely believing it. because
Mm-hmm.
of the stereotype that's already on Native men.
Yeah.
And it's a sad situation that some women get are involved in, obviously. I mean, I feel for you and that guy you were with. I'm glad you're not with him anymore because that's fucked up. And whoever he
Mm-hmm.
is, he's a piece of shit. And I hope that he is able to grow from whatever he was going through. I hope that he's able
Apparently,
to.
he did. It sounded like he grew because he sent me an email a couple years ago, maybe like 2017, maybe, and it was a an apology email saying I'm sorry that I've all the trouble I have caused you, the physical abuse and everything else, and it he stated that it feels like karma is coming back to him, and also when I was dating him, he was antichrist, did not want to go to
Oh,
church. So
did you
me
know
growing
that
up
when you
going to
first got with
church,
him?
me growing up going to church, sometimes he used to go with us. But
Mm,
when we came out here, I would say, hey, maybe we should find a church. But he would schedule something else to do something else. So it was just, he was just antichrist after a while. But now, apparently, he's a pastor in Tempe.
your
Uh,
ex is the
he's
pastor in Tempe.
married, has three daughters, and his wife watches my videos. The crazy thing is, she doesn't know who I am because, like I said, I changed my name. But he basically said that I feel like karma's coming back to me, and me being a pastor, I need to come back to all the people that I have hurt and apologize to them. And I feel like I really need to do that to you. And it's like a full on paragraph. And at
Are
the
you
bottom,
happy that he made that growth?
yeah, I'm happy because there's not another woman out there that's getting her ass beat. I'm proud that that's not happening.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and in a lot of ways, I feel like a lot of this had happened because of the way he was raised up.
Mm-hmm.
His dad was this typical drunk, going in and out of the
Mm-hmm.
life kind of thing. So that made him become who he is today.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not today, at the time, but now he's like a whole different person, which is really good. Which is really good
What
that his wife is not going through what I went through.
what did the bottom of the letter say? You were gonna say what it said on the bottom.
It says that, would you forgive me? Would you ever forgive me? And that took me a couple years to sit on. So there's a video that I have posted on my YouTube channel. It states, I forgive you. That's
Mm.
directly to him. And I basically went down old paths. A lot of this happened in Mesa, so I took you guys around certain areas where I was beat, certain areas where I cried, certain areas where I was embarrassed and chased off and stuff like that. That's what that video is about. So I felt
Mm.
like I held on to that so long that it started consuming me and it started hurting me. So once I made that video, I felt so much better.
Mm.
And I don't think I've ever told a lot of people this, but when I was in a relationship with Chan, that's one of the things that I was holding on to, was that trust, that anger, that hatred. Everything else is just like sitting, instead of like cleaning my sins, cleaning everything out, I just brushed it underneath the rug, and it just kept building and
Mm.
building and building. So every time it comes back, like in the middle of the night, I'll be screaming and I'll be crying because of the nightmares that I've experienced in life back then. Um, so one day, Chan is like, sometimes when we have a dispute, you kind of take out a lot of anger. Maybe seeking therapy would help. So I've started doing therapy twice a week. I think I did that for
Mm.
like 8 months. And then after that,
Mm.
I made the video. And then, no, it was about a year and a half maybe that I've taken this therapy class.
Mm.
So now I don't hold that anymore. I don't hold that anger anymore. I don't hold that frustration or hatred or anything like that.
So eventually, you've forgiven him.
Yeah, I forgive him, and I felt like that helped a lot, forgiving somebody,
Mm.
and it's not forgiving them. It's just taking that off of your shoulders and giving it back to them. all the hurt that you've ever experienced. You're just giving it back. So I feel
Mm,
lighter. Let there be light. Uh,
way lighter. Oh
okay.
yeah, there you go. Dang, you're all talking in the dark. Hold on, let me turn on this AC real quick.
He was like, she didn't pay for electric bill again. I don't think I paid for the AC either because it's getting hot in here.
Yeah, it's fucking hot out here too. It's 108. I was wearing a hoodie because it was cold in here.
Damn,
My
108.
fire's going. Yeah, it was 108 today here in Albuquerque.
I think today was like maybe like what 113, 114 here.
Damn, it's too much. It's too hot.
And you
Too
say
hot.
Phoenix is too hot. You literally have the same old thing, wearing a sweater and a fire behind you.
Yeah. Well,
You
I knew
got-
I I knew this live was gonna be fire. That's why it has to stay fire. And plus that my AC's on blast. My right now the AC's on blast.
I have my
So the,
fan going.
could I ask you a question?
Sure.
I know. Do you besides the comments you read from other women,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want you to take their opinions in consideration when I ask you this question. I'm asking you as just yourself. Do you think that I am I'm sexist?
No, I don't think you're sexist. I just think you just need to retake English class. I think that's just all it is. Because if you were sexist, you would talk down on me directly, but you don't ever do
Mm,
that. I think it's just rewording how you say things is about it.
yeah.
I thought you were
I
engaged with Birdman. Okay.
Yeah, we didn't even read a lot of these comments. I was going through them earlier too, but that's about the topic from way when we first started.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That kind of
yeah, those
thinking is keeping you single. Okay. So that a lot of you
that
guys,
kind of
I
thing.
feel like that video, the live video that we did when you did the truth or dare, a lot of
Hmm.
people didn't watch the live and they still think I'm engaged. To this day, I still get comments. I still get messages saying congratulations. I just seen the video. I'm like, what did you watch the video? And they never respond back. So to clarify, me
They
and
are
Mr.
actually
Ryan is
engaged.
me and Mr. Ryan has never been down that road before, and I don't see him like that. I see him as
let,
like a really good, cool cousin brother. Is the way I see Mr. Ryan.
let
It
me,
was
yeah,
because
and then also that I dared I jumped on Rezi's live. I saw that they were all having dinner, and then I just said truth or dare to everybody on the table, and I had Rezi put a spoon on her nose, and I had George to
George
eat a spoon of salt.
Salt.
Was it
Hmm.
salt? Yeah. And then I asked you to what did I ask you to do?
That was mine. Was the truth.
Oh, yours was truth, and I asked you, is
Hmm.
it true that? Oh, after Ryan. So then I asked
Yeah.
Ryan, truth or dare. He said dare, and then I said, I dare you to propose to Onnalyn. I was gonna say I dare you to propose to George, but I didn't want to say that. I don't know why I didn't say that. It would I thought it would be funnier if we did you because I don't know, just to be funnier. And then he proposed to Onnalyn because I dared him to, and I still have the screen recording of it. Do you guys need it?
No, no, Resi still has it up.
Okay, okay.
She still
Yeah,
has
go to
that live.
Rezi's channel, then listen, watch it.
Yeah. I already placed my order on your wedding registry. Oh my god. Speaking of registry, I don't think I'm gonna do a registry this year, but my birthday's coming up, guys. It's literally in I think next week, next
You're an
weekend.
August baby.
August 4th is my birthday, and then like 3 days later,
What?
it's George's birthday.
Both of you are my. You know what? My mom and my sister are both August babies too.
Hmm.
It's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of birthdays in August.
Nice. One of my best friends from a long time ago. We're still friends now, but not best friends. Her birthday was on August 4th too.
Wow, that's really cool.
Ooh.
You August babies are something else, man. You're something else.
You and your stupid zodiac. I love how you put so much effort into reading this and believing everything.
That's funny.
Yeah, but
It's
um,
very entertaining to do those things. So how
it's
was your honeymoon?
entertaining. It's entertaining when you actually read them and you're like, oh, you're like this and you're like that, and I'm like, okay, I'm not even like that, but all right. But I'm glad we covered this conversation because I feel like a lot of us don't really know the real you, in which we
Yeah.
probably would never know the real you because we don't know you personally like that. And a lot of stuff that we put out is like maybe 10% of our lives. So it's good to pick your brains to see what happened, where are you going, how do you see things, and that was basically
Yeah.
what my life was about with you.
Oh, okay. I I this fool, huh? Come on, Lefty, come in here. I don't. Oh, let me see. Hold on, Lefty, come here. Let me ask you a question on the line. First of all, if you guys don't know Lefty, this is Lefty. He's my friend. Come here.
He's my left hand man.
Oh, wait, turn it down. So, Lefty, do you agree with 100% of the things that I say about relationships or about men and women? So, yeah, but not 100%. Not 100%. Okay, so now you guys know that Lefty is not misogynistic or sexist, and he's not an asshole. I'm just kidding. But he de- we definitely share a
I
lot of
have a
stories.
question for him though.
Okay, hold up.
Move forward, Lefty. Grab the mic. Okay. As a best friend, would you want your best friend to be happier and learn and improve and become a better person? You would want that, right? Yeah. And obviously he's been hurt and he's going down this trying to find what happened and how to find love again or whatever. Do you think it's your somewhat responsibility to, hey, like, maybe let's talk about it, let's try something different kind of thing, or are you just gonna just let him be him and figure it out himself? I can't hear him.
Oh,
Well, yeah, like it's something they gotta journey themselves. Honestly, like I've learned my ways. There have been things that I went through in time. There's things that
I
I've
still cannot hear
experienced.
anything he's saying at all.
that's not even on, bro. It's just the mic. This the
Oh, it's
AirPods.
this.
Yeah.
Speak that loud.
Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. That I you can't switch up the question now that you got the both AirPods.
It's kind of empty.
There you go, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. I'm alive. Yay. Okay. Um. Well, it kind of hurt the question a little bit. I don't know. It's just some kind of an experience that you kind of have to go through on your own because not a lot of people have the same mind concept. Like for me, that's the reason why when he speaks to me about things that I go through or the things I do, I usually typically just I still journey on my own. I don't take in so much to kind of like change myself based on someone else's opinion, but it be always in all of our interest for someone else to see a better, how do you say it, adventure for themselves. And that's the reason why when you that's my approach on it. Just as his best friend and just as basically how things go, especially through relationships. There's a lot of things I've seen, there's a lot of things that I went through. The similarities is something we definitely went through together. There's some sorts of similarities, but sometimes we kind of like pick at it and we start thinking like, man, maybe this is the reason why things happen this way. But it's not always a full experience for both of us in the same manner, I guess. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, I would like for him to kind of learn, on his own. It's not that I know more. It's not that he knows more. It's just something eventually you start seeing things happen differently. So that's my input. That's why I'm always quiet most of the time when it comes to anybody speaking about, like relationship situations or, life situations. I'm usually the one who's like just listening in and kind of observing on my own. And I kind of intake a little bit of it to kind of like maybe like compare it to what I went through. And you can definitely, once you just kind of listen in, you definitely see the similarities in a lot of people. So yeah, but for the most part, maybe that's the reason why I kind of like am able to deal with them sometimes. I'm pretty sure you guys have a hard time breaking through this little hard head of his, but a lot of times I'm typically I typically try to act like I have a harder head, and I don't fight back with it. I just okay, that's cool, you know.
If there's
So
something that you disagree with him, what do you do? Do you just like step back and be like, "It's all right, he'll figure it out," or are you like the person to jump in and try to talk to him about it?
in a lot of cases, I do like jump in and a lot of things he goes through, but I don't jump into it like I want to, like fix his problems. Usually, it's just me kind of like putting in my inputs of what I went through. And there's
Hmm.
a lot of differences in our lives. Like we went through different things in a lot of different ways, but we kind of like have some part of us that just have that similarity. So, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot
Well,
of times I do speak to him on in about a lot of things that maybe he's kind of going through and he's taking a little harsh on himself more or like harsh on reality of it. But a lot of times I don't tell him to do this or do that. It's just like we kind of experience it in real time rather than talk about it. Like we might as well not say, hey, don't do this. I think you should do this. Or I don't know. I'm just not that kind of person to want to guide someone because everybody has a different lifestyle. So,
hmm.
but on in, it's always good to just listen in and just hear how the differences of a lot of things are. So it's just
So a
been
lot
like
of
that
it,
for the
you
longest
just
time.
you're a really good moral support and a lot of things that he goes through, even if it's through his like breakup, hard times and stuff like that. You're more of that person he
Yeah.
would always rely on to talk to and always be there, because I feel like you are that person. You're always in his lives. You're his fire chief. You're helping him with his work, and I'm pretty sure like he helps you too, and you guys kind of like are backbones for one another. It's always good to have a friend
Yeah.
like that, especially guys usually don't have best friends like that. It's more like a girl thing.
Yeah.
But I
It,
I see some comments here. They want to know your clans.
you want to know my plans? My plans are Toricini, usually. Just kidding. Tuatsoni, Etsina Bitli, and Torik Ojan.
Hmm.
They're almost all waters, so it's probably why I'm always washed out. Just kidding. When it goes crying. But yeah,
Where are you
those are
from?
my plans. I'm from Pinyon, Arizona, just a couple of
Ah,
miles away from where he's from. So I was
okay.
born in Chinle, Arizona. I Yeah, and I basically went to the same school he did since we were little kids. I kind of moved away for a couple of years after middle school, so there was kind of like a disconnect we had, but that's just because it was my choice to try to go to school in different areas. But we kind of reconnected again as soon as I came back to the reservation, and it was ever since then we just kind of like been always connected some way somehow. Like the time I went to college as well, or my technical school up in Wyoming, we had a little disconnect right there, but in the long run, there was days where we just said, we still need to stay connected, I guess. And I do. I'm kind of the person who likes to kind of like stay to myself. Like I tend to
Hmm.
I tend to keep myself to myself a lot of times, but for some reason, this guy somehow makes it back to my life. Just kidding. Because I have a lot of friends. I had a lot of friends, but a lot of them never came back the way he does. So, which is the coolest part. That's the reason why I guess we consider each other best friends is because it's an automatic reconnect, and we just start back the same day on end. So it's fun.
They always say you find your soulmate, but they don't say like your soulmate is gonna be like your husband and your wife. Maybe you guys are soulmates.
Maybe, or we just kind of maybe he's my brother at some point. It's kidding.
Which,
Yeah,
yeah, especially with the reincarnation, they usually say like you stay within the same group. So your last past
yeah,
life, that he might have been your dad or he might have been your little brother.
that's valid.
Interesting. But it's good to hear you. It's good to hear you talk. I've never actually heard you talk this much. Except when we
Yeah,
went to that cavern place, I think it was. Is that what it was called? The New Mexico restaurant place. That's the only
yeah, the
time
New
I really
Mexico
actually
Cavern.
heard you speak. Other than that, I always see you as your Mudson's left hand man.
Yeah, I typically, a lot of times I'm easy to get along with, and I think that's the reason why he likes hanging out with me is because like I'm not the kind of guy. Once you get to know me, I'm very sporadic, and I just have a lot in my mind that I do I do a lot, and I do hang out with him quite a bit. So, but yeah, I mean, then it was more of like kind of like me just being there because I wanted to support him in his social media platform. A lot of times I try not to butt into those things because I'm not the kind of person who really wants to be in that scene. I know a lot of people ask me why I don't have a social media base, but I guess I'm just not the kind of person to keep up with it. So, but yeah, I could be. I thought about it sometimes, but a lot of times I'm just like, I like my life right now. I think I like keeping it the way it is. I'm the what did they used to say? The infamous lefty is what everybody used to say whenever I come around and hang out with your Monson. So I'm just like the random person who would come around. But yeah, this is me,
Okay.
lefty.
All right.
Because
Well,
there's
thank you
a
for
lot of
tuning in. Thank you for sharing a little bit about yourself. I'm sure a
yeah,
lot
no
of people
problem.
here wondered who's Lefty, and we don't even know your real name. We just kind of see you on the side.
Yeah, my real name is Jarrett. Jarrett, not Lewis. I know a lot of people kind of do ask that. I see it on the comments all the time, and they want to know what my real name is. It's Jarrett. And that's why sometimes he spills it out of nowhere and he says Jared, and then I'm like, what the heck? I'm just kidding. So,
But some of us are kind of slow, so we don't get it. I'm like, who's Jared? Never thought that was your
yeah,
name.
yeah, my real name is Jared. So sometimes sometimes I prefer being called Jared more than Lefty, but Lefty sounds cool sometimes, so I go with it.
Is it because you're left-handed?
No, it all began. It was like an MC thing. So like we started off with the name because I had a lot of MC names that I couldn't like really attach to myself, but there's this one movie he kind of introduced me to, and there's a man they call Mr. Lefty in there, and it kind of it just reminded him of me like that. So and
Hmm.
so we're just like, hey, you know what? It's pretty dope. It's pretty dope to go based off that. A lot of people like to pick MC names just based off like weird stuff. Like this one was kind of one thing I was like, yeah, I'm cool with that. So
That's cool.
I was more of a rapper before than anything like this. So and I don't know if you guys seen any of like my music or I performed with him this past Saturday. And it's been a long time. I was telling him. He said 1 year, and I was like, it's not been a year for me. It's been 9 years since the last time I performed on stage,
Hmm.
and I was very, very nervous, but I made
Is
it
there a
through. So
video on that?
I don't know. I don't know if he recorded or if anybody else recorded, but we were like on an early set, so it was still kind of daytime when we performed. So I know I didn't see it on LOG's platform, but we definitely did it. It was cool. I got this like weird feeling where I was like nervous, but at the same time, I was like I had to pull through. So it was fun. Good
That's cool. I
experience
didn't
to
know
have with
that.
them.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So it
So,
was really fun.
so during the camp out this weekend, are you gonna spit some bars?
I mean, I could, but I kind of just want to hang out. I might have some family members or friends there, so like I probably won't be like entirely focused onto the event the way I think a lot of people, the way he's gonna see it. So I'm probably just gonna be hanging around with a lot of other people, playing these video games or playing the other games. I like to tune in a lot of activities. So one thing's for sure
Okay.
is something I'm excited for. But I know he's gonna be a very busy person, and we'll see how it goes. It's gonna be fun.
Okay.
I'm really nervous for it.
Well, thanks for tuning
Yeah,
in. We appreciate it
yeah.
to hear your side.
It's really cool. It's really cool being on this right now. I don't know how to approach it, but
Well,
this
you're
is how
doing
I
good.
this is who I am. So it's good to
Well,
see you
you're
guys, and hello everybody. Sorry, I'm kind of sweaty. I was outside. The car has no AC, so or the car I'm
there's
driving
kind of
doesn't
like
have any
a
AC.
there's kind of like a fireplace behind you, so I'm pretty sure that's why I'm
Yeah,
sweating.
I look like the fire chief right now, an actual fire chief. I'm just kidding. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go get the woods ready again. No, I'm just kidding.
All right.
Yeah. Alrighty then. Well, let me give it back to Jamonson. I know you guys are in a pretty deep conversation, but he's a good guy. He's a really good guy.
Hey, let me tell you guys something about Lefty here. So the way can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So thank you, Jared. So the way I got Lefty's name was through the movie Donnie Brasco. I don't know if you've seen it before. Have you seen it?
No.
So there's a movie. There's a mobster. His name was Lefty, and Donnie Brasco was like an undercover police officer, and
Hmm.
he was trying to take down the mob. And ever since I known Lefty, since fifth grade, we didn't like each other in fifth grade. And then the years went on, and then he started to be my friend, and then like he said, he moved away, he came back. But when we really became best friends, I think it was early seventh grade, eighth grade. And I remember
Hmm.
him being really naughty, like he was a naughty kid. And I kind of gravitated toward him, and then we became best friends from there. And then ever since then, he's been very, um, he's been a very loyal friend in a lot of, in a lot of, how could I say, in a lot of areas in our relationship, he's been very loyal,
Hmm.
and he's been very charismatic, and he's been very supportive, and he's been very giving, and he helped me a lot, like a lot. He helped me so much in my life that I'll never not be grateful for Lefty being in my life. So him and I, we share this connection where I feel like it's hard for me to share this connection that we have with other people.
Hmm.
I try to have that relationship with Jerickson, but Jerickson, he doesn't have that level of emotional. I can't connect with Jerickson emotionally like I can connect with Lefty.
Hmm.
So I watched that movie. A lot of traits of Lefty. Everything goes half in the movie. Everything goes half. Everything he does. He runs it by his boys. and he cares very much about his boys, and that's how I feel from Lefty. Is that I know he cares a lot about me. I know he does
Hmm.
not agree with 100% of the things that I have to say, and I know that I don't agree with 100% of the things that he has to say also. So we have that kind of disconnect there, but in the end of the day, we're always able to come back,
Hmm.
um, and then still be best friends, and we're still able to work through our differences. Because yo, trust me, like, we've gotten arguments before, and gone down to us almost fighting before, and we have said mean things to each other. And one time we got in an argument for a long ass time, and then we got to a certain point, and then just be like, "Yo, man, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say it." And then we shake hands, we squashed it, and then we move forward. I've said some things that I shouldn't have said, and he checked me, and then I realized that I was like, "Yeah, you know what? You're right. I shouldn't have said that to you." And then I say, "I'm sorry, bro. I didn't mean to say that." And then we squashed it, and then it's like it never even happened. So if you guys want to get to know Lefty a little bit more and how some of the traits that I see from him, you guys can see that movie Donnie Brasco, and um, Lefty is in that movie. So that's where I got his nickname from, and I told him, "Yo, we're gonna call you MC Lefty." So that's where his name came from. I know a lot of people wonder where his name came from, and that's kind of where it came from. But he's my boy. I'm closer to him than I am closer to any other guy in my life. For real, for real. He literally knows so much about me. And I don't even know, like, honestly, sometimes I'm like, dude, how the fuck do you even deal with me? Like, are you sure you want to be my friend, bro? Like, yeah, but he's cool, man. I love him. I mean, I want the best for him. I want the best for him. And I feel like everything that I do in my life, I'm doing it for the people who I love. And obviously, that's my kids, my family, and my two homies, Jarrett and Jerrickson. And everything that I do, I try to figure out ways that I can try to kind of include them in the future.
Hmm.
So yeah, he's just like my little brother. He's younger than me, that's why I would call him my little brother. So he teaches me shit, I teach him shit, and yeah, he's my boy. He's my boy. That's why I really feel like if he was a girl, we would definitely be like, bing, we married a long ass time ago.
That's what I mean. Sometimes soulmates are not like your girlfriend or wife. It can be your best friend. That could be your soulmate.
So
Because
Lefty might just be my soulmate.
basically your soulmate because he completes your other half. He's your the
I
one that
and I'll tell you this much: every guy who I'm not trying to put myself on a high horse or anything, but every guy who has a platform like I do and who is so open about his opinions and who doesn't really care about what people call him or have to say about him, every guy like me needs someone like Lefty by his
mm-hmm,
side. And I feel like because he's in my life, I could speak about certain things, and then I have the courage to say some of the things that I say because I know that he is in my corner,
mm-hmm,
and he has my back.
mm-hmm.
And though he might not agree with everything, I know for a fact that if it were to come down to it, he's gonna have my back 100%, no matter what I
Regardless
say,
if you're in the wrong.
regardless if I was in the wrong or not. Yeah, he'll probably tell me, "Yo, you're probably in the wrong on this one." Though he might say that, and if it was me against the world, I know Lefty would have my back and he would be there
Yeah.
for me. Yeah, but it's
We
just,
all
it's a
need
different.
that. We all need that in our life. I feel like,
Hmm.
regardless, even if it's your sibling or your mom, that you have to have that in your life.
Yep,
And Lefty so happened to be yours.
yep. Lefty is mine, and I hope I am his
His.
too. You know,
He's
I
off
hope
cheating
I.
on you with somebody else.
Yeah, and then sometimes, honestly, sometimes I can't stand it when he says, "Yeah, I was hanging out with my friend last night." I'm like, "Bro, who the fuck is your friend, bro? I'm your boy. Why didn't you tell me to come out there with you, bro? What's wrong with you?" You
That
know?
sounds like what I literally said that the other day. So I think I called Z because Z is my best friend. Z, I felt like she's been part of my family for so many years, but until Chan came into my life, me and Z became best friends.
Okay.
And now it's like she knows everything about my life. So the other day, I think I called her. Yeah, I called her, and Sarah, Navajo Mama, answered the phone. And I'm like, "Hello,"
Whoa.
and she's like, "Hi, Anna." I'm like, what's going on here? What's going on? And she's like, "Oh, me and Rezi are just having dinner without me. How come
Oh,
nobody
fuck.
notified me? I did not approve of this." Low
That's a
key kind of hurt, but
violation.
I was like, "That's pretty cool, though. That's awesome. That I wouldn't want any other person to hang out with Z, but Sarah, because Sarah is just I could see
That's
Sarah as one of my best friends, but just that little like they didn't notify me and they went to go have dinner without me. Low key kind of hurt.
that's a violation. That's a violation. And I don't know Jared's other friends. That's the thing too. I don't know them. I don't trust them. And I don't trust them to be around him because I
Mhm.
don't know them. And the things
Mhm.
that they do, I don't do those things when they hang
Mhm.
out. So that's why I'm so protective of him and I say, dude, just fucking chill here. Like we don't need to
Yeah.
do those things. But he that's what he does. Just what he does. So he wants to do it, he gotta do it. But I think it's my duty as a best friend to be like, I don't trust those people that you hang around with. None of them. That's the reason why I
Mhm.
don't know them. So he does what he does though. But all his friends that he has outside of me, fuck them all. I don't give a shit about them. I will not associate myself with them. I will never introduce
Regardless,
myself to
he
them.
will always come back to you.
Yeah,
Regardless.
yeah, that's true. I will not shake their hand. I don't even want to know their names. I don't care to know their names. All I
Yeah.
care about is Lefty, and I want him to be safe out there. And whoever he associates himself with outside of me, I want them to be able to um, do things that aren't going to harm him or get him in trouble. And
Mhm.
I know that guy hangs out with people who don't have his best interest in mind.
Mhm.
That's why I'm like, dude, fuck all those guys. If it was me, I'd be like, nah, dude, let's not do that. Let's do this, you know.
Mhm.
But it is what it is. I mean, he's my best friend ever since we were small, so I love that dude. And it's crazy because throughout every relationship that he's been in and I've been in, we've always had each other throughout every single relationship. No matter if it's one of his guy friends or my guy friends or a girlfriend or a girlfriend, we always had each other. And I know
Mhm.
that sometimes it gets the ladies a little mad that we have each other like that. But the ladies that we've been with. So, but that's my boy. It's my ride or die. Do anything for
Now I
that guy.
see. Now I see Z's point of view because Z doesn't hang out with me and my other friends, and Z doesn't partake in a lot of things that I used to do, and a lot of times it's more like, Ron, just stay home, just don't do this, just leave them alone, and they're not good for you, and stuff like
Yeah,
that. But
yeah. It's only because that
regardless,
we have,
I always came back.
yeah, because we have your best interest in our in
Hmm.
mind. We care about you. That's why. Even
Yep.
now, if you wanted to go out there and do some wild shit, I'd probably be like, you know what? I don't think you should do that. Let's just do something else. You know. I'm not saying that you're a wild person or whatever, but if someone was trying to lead you in a different way, I'll be like, dude, maybe you shouldn't do that.
Hmm.
But but that's where your best friend comes into play, Rezi. That's her job.
Yep. Yep. So
Mhm.
far, she's been slacking and cheating on me.
Rezi,
I
you
might
gotta
need a new
step it
best
up.
friend soon. No one
I
asked me.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes when Lefty's not tired, then he'll cook dinner. Sometimes when I'm not tired, I'll cook. I cook Lefty and the guy who works with us. I cooked them steak today. I made them lunch because I appreciate Lefty and how much I rely on him through for the
Hmm.
company to run. I I I I, I appreciate him for all that help because he is out there probably 100% of the time, um, doing the jobs, getting the money for the company, and doing the work,
Hmm.
kind of as a lead person when he's out there with the other guy. And I feel like if he's not there, then it kind of falls. It kind of doesn't run as smoothly as it should because it's my job to go out there and do the estimates and then do the bidding and get the jobs and build a relationship with the clients and then come back and then do all of the as far as the estimates and then getting the payments and things like that's my job. So if it wasn't for him, the company wouldn't really flow as well as it does.
So is it a two-man business? Like you guys both have half and half ownership, or?
No, that's originally that's how we wanted to set it up, but we spoke to people, and I feel like for right now it's best for it to be a one man company. But the reason for that is if we were to get sued, they would sue him too, and they would come after his assets and then mine at the same time. And I included my family in it too, but then I took them off because I didn't want them to get sued either. And at the end of the year, if we're in the negative, that debt is going to go to him and me and my family. You know, so rather than have that, it's like a it's like a precautious decision to be the only one on the company because we're not big yet, you know? And if
Mm-hmm.
we were to get sued, I would want them to just come after me and only me because I don't want to drag Lefty down or my family down. So it's just me for now. But when it starts to grow, when it gets bigger, yeah, I'm gonna make sure I cut everybody in and cut my family in. I'll cut Lefty in. I'll cut my kids in. Like all that I do is for my family, my kids, and for my homies. That's it.
Okay,
Yeah.
interesting. So what about the company name? You gonna change it? Or are you just gonna keep it like that?
I was thinking about doing a different name, but there's no native representation as far as yard workers out here in Albuquerque, and I suppose I could have named it something else, but I feel like it's more personal for me to name it after a Yazzie just because I'm Yazzie, and I feel
Mm-hmm.
like because I want to represent not just the Aussies but all Native Americans in general. So yeah, when I introduce myself to a potential client, I tell them we're a team of two, but we have one other employee, and we're Navajo, and that's why the name of the company is Yazzie because that's my last name. And I said I know that there's not a lot of representation as far as Native Americans doing yard work here in
Mm-hmm.
Albuquerque, and I just let them know. Yeah, I just let them know that, and then everything that we do, we try to do. We try to be precise. We try to do the best job that we can, and I feel like that's the reason why we have 5-star ratings with our clients. And we
Oh,
got a
nice.
shitload of good compliments. Yeah, so I yeah I rely on him a lot. But maybe in the future, I might change it if I find a different name that has something to do
Mm-hmm.
with representing with Native Americans. You know.
Just off the question, have you guys ever tried to maybe work with a business like, let's say, realty? You know how before people move in, the yard service has to get done first. Would you guys ever like
Hmm.
partner up with another company like that where they call you first? Is have
Yeah.
you guys
So
have something like that?
how we get our leads is through Angie's. That they send us our leads, and then
Mm-hmm.
when we get our leads, they charge us for a lead, and then we go out there and then we do our pitching and then we do our bids. But the other day we dropped out some cards for a company who like a realtor. I think that's how you say that word, but we dropped it off at their company, and then the lady in the front just said, "Yeah, we usually just leave them here, and then if someone needs, then we'll come over." I haven't had an actual sit down with anyone yet. I have called them before, like when I see the signs that the house is for sale, I call them and I say, "Hey, I see one of your properties here. I'm wondering if you need any yard services." They say, "Not right now," and then I say, "Save my information. If you ever need me in the future, just give me a call." And they say, "Yeah, we'll do that."
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple across the street from my house. They were doing a cleaning company, like families or individuals, or I don't think it was companies at the time. they would call them and be like, "Hey, we need some cleaning up to do here," and they were the first one to go out. They did the same thing. They used to leave cards here and there for cleaning services, and then all of a
Yeah.
sudden, I think it was this house or the house next to me, the company actually seen their truck outside and they're all cleaning supplies and whatever and whatnot. And he went over there and he's like, "Hey, would you guys partner up with us because we have a lot of homes around here that needs to be cleaned up before we can start renting them or selling them out." So now they do that. They get a call and say, "Hey, we got 3 jobs here," and then they send them out. But they're partners; they're
Mm.
not working for them.
Ah, that makes sense. Yeah.
That would
I mean, I
be
would like
interesting.
I would like to do that eventually,
Mm-hmm.
but we're still 5 months in, and I think that
Mm-hmm.
when we first started, it was hard for us to get jobs like the day of the or the day because we were doing it a whole different way. We were doing it a much more difficult way, and then the more research that I did, and then the more money I invested into like um, different like leads, that different apps or companies that generate leads, then it kind of got a little more easier. So I think last week was hard for us to get work because I was not here on Monday, and I really believe that that one day makes a difference because
Mm-hmm.
when I wasn't here, everything fucked up for the rest of the week. So this week I was here and we managed to get work every day of the week. And right now I'm sitting on like maybe 4 or 5 leads that are just I'm just waiting for them to respond to me.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, but I definitely feel like it's a two-man thing. It's a two-man gig. We both have to do our parts. But as far as the ownership and the liability and everything, that all lies on me. Yeah.
Okay. That'll be really nice once you guys like blow up and you guys are working for the government and cleaning or cleaning around the
Hell
president's
yeah.
house. That
That's
would
the
be
goal.
cool.
That's the goal. That's my goal is to have different companies across the nation. Like if we grow super, I guess I could be doing a lot more right now than
Mm-hmm.
I do, but I'm still learning. I'm still
Mm-hmm.
learning the process of how to run the company. I'm still doing all this. It's still like a learning process for me. But the goal eventually is to have different crews around the state here or around
Yeah.
Albuquerque. The first step is to have different crews around Albuquerque. And then later on, I would like to extend into different states. Like I'd have a company truck out there in Flagstaff or even in Phoenix. But I have to trust the lead people out there, and I have to pay them enough for them to take the company seriously too. So I guess it'll all come in time. I gotta be patient. Sometimes I feel like giving up because sometimes it's just like, what the fuck is so stressful and it seems like it's not going anywhere. All the money we generate during the week, it's like, oh fuck yeah, we got all this money. And then you gotta pay everything off and then chops it everything up and
Mm-hmm.
then it just disappears and then you're like, where the fuck all that money go? You know? So it's definitely difficult. It's hard, but we manage it. Lefty wasn't here for the last 2 days, and shit almost fell apart for me. I was working out there in the heat myself, and that's the reason why I hate the heat is because I can't do it. I don't know how the hell he does it, but he does it, and I'm just like, bro, I need you to be here so we can make it work because I can't fucking be out there in the heat working, and then I gotta be over here and trying to get the estimates and get the jobs. It's difficult when one person doesn't show up. It's like the whole thing falls apart.
Okay. So since you started 5 months ago, that was before it started snowing, right?
Mm, It was like it would snow, it would rain, then it would be like summer, and then it would snow, and then when the weather was really weird, like we had like all 4 seasons in one day.
So
Yeah, it
since
was
it,
crazy.
it snows up there, are you guys gonna be like snow plowing stuff instead? Or are you just not
Um,
gonna work that day?
I need to figure out what we're gonna do during that time. I wanted to make enough money to where we would be off for the winter, but still be getting paid.
Mm-hmm.
But being that how things are flowing right now, I feel like I don't know if that's really gonna work out. So there are other hustles that I'm working on now, like last night I was up all the way till 2:30. I started like at 9:30 or something, and I've just been on the computer just hustling. And it's a whole different hustle than what the yard work is. It's completely different. So even that right there is I'm trying to create an opportunity not just for myself but for Lefty, because the goal, right, is to have financial freedom. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of people's goal is to have financial freedom, and that's one of my goals. And I want that for my family and my friend, and then my kids. I want that
Mm-hmm.
financial freedom for them. So I was on the computer night last night working and thinking ahead of like winter time, and then like what if this yard work shit don't pan out? Then I have to fall back on something else. So in a way, I'm kind of working on two different things at once.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm trying to figure that out right now. What we're going to be doing during the winter time.
Okay.
I suppose I don't really have to put that stress on myself, but I want to, because that's just the type of person that I am too. See, like a lot of people see a lot of negative things about me, right? And they like to focus on that and put it so high, but
Mm-hmm.
they don't know that I think about everyone too. That I really want everybody to be good and happy and stuff. So um, yeah, I mean, if I have to sacrifice some sleep at night, then yeah, I'll do it. I'll keep grinding for my homies and my family.
So does that explain why your eyes are always red?
I My eyes are always red because I am always high.
On life?
I'm always
On
high. Cocaine, meth, marijuana, everything. I'm just kidding.
that explains a lot. that explains everything.
Nah. Watch that get chopped up. Nah. My eyes are always red because it's just the way it is. I don't know. I put eye drops in my eyes sometimes. Sometimes I'm really tired and my eyes just get red, and then um, sometimes. All right, ready for some honesty?
Yeah.
Okay. Very rarely do I partake in smoking recreational marijuana, and very rarely did I do that. And it recently just started, and the reason why is because I zone out when I'm on it. Like when I smoke, then I concentrate a little more than I would if my mind was just all cluttered with different things. And
Mm-hmm.
it helps me sleep at night. It's like a good medicine for me to sleep, and it helps me calm the fuck down. Because you think I would be able to, after all these years of all the shit people say about me and everything, all the assumptions that people make about me on my social media, and then on top of that, I got to worry about my bills and worry about my kids, and then my family, and then my everything that comes up. You know what I'm saying? And then it gets so hard for me to deal with it sometimes. And then just recently, I'm not saying I've done it like forever. Just literally just recently, like I would say 4 weeks ago, and ever since 4 weeks ago, I've been sleeping better at night,
Mm-hmm.
and I have been a lot less stressful, and I have been a little more grateful. I don't know if people noticed it about me, but I have been a little more grateful, and I have been a little more cheerful, and I feel like it helped me get my head focused, because my head is in the fucking clouds, man. It just makes things super. I don't rely on it though. It's not like I have
Mm-hmm.
to have it. I don't ever rely on those kind of things. But that's very rarely though. I don't do that all the time. Like right now, my eyes are like this because not because of that. My eyes are just red right now, just because they're red right now. So yeah, that's
So
some honesty for everybody.
no more NyQuils at night.
Mm-mm.
You done with
I
that?
haven't had Yeah, I haven't had ZQL in since I started. But even
Mm-hmm.
before I started, I haven't had ZQL because I used
Okay.
to need it in order for me to go to sleep at night.
Yeah.
It was so hard. It was so hard for me to sleep. So I used to take it like an hour before, maybe two of them, or even more of them prior to when I went to sleep, like an hour prior or 4 hours prior. And
Mhm.
then I would always wake up super early in the morning. Not like it was more like get up and just like, oh shit, like freaking out. My heart is already pounding, and I wake up,
Mhm.
and I was never a one to look forward to going to sleep. I always hated to go to sleep. I never liked going to sleep because it was so the anxiety of going to sleep was it sucked.
Mhm.
Looking forward to going to sleep because I'm like, fuck, man. When I wake up tomorrow morning, I know how I'm gonna feel. And when I go
Mhm.
to sleep tonight, I know I'm gonna have a bad dream, or I know I'm gonna get anxious tonight. You know,
Yeah.
that's how it was a long time for me. So now I'm more calm. I can sleep through the night now, and in the
Mhm.
morning times I can sleep in a little more. But
Yeah.
I could say it helped me out just a little bit, but definitely not a lot. But my eyes are just naturally red. I believe it's the damage from the sun. But sometimes I will be on whatever, not like drugs. That's why I don't consider marijuana a drug. That's why I've never considered it a drug. I know because all the schools I've done, presentations that I've done, I never spoke bad about marijuana. I never say, don't
Mhm.
smoke weed, don't smoke weed. I never say that to people because I know that it's a medicine and it helps people. So that's
Mhm.
why I say my event this coming weekend is going to be 420 friendly, but just to do it in a way where you're smoking intelligently rather than just smoking to get fucked up. And that's what I firmly believe as far as it comes when it comes to marijuana is that people should smoke intelligently. And I feel like if they do that, it'll it'll be used for what it was made for as a medicine to help people.
Do you
Yeah.
think I smoke?
You don't come off as someone who smokes to me, uh, but I could be wrong. Maybe you do edibles. Maybe once in a while you enjoy an occasional joint. But there's some people that I thought when I'm watching them, I'm like they don't smoke, but then I find out that they do smoke. I'm like, oh shit. I don't
Hmm.
smoke with other people though. I don't be like, yo, let's go meet up, let's go smoke. I don't do that. I don't. I when I smoke, I would do it. I would rather do it by myself, to where I can use it, so I can use it.
I thought
You
I
know,
seen you on Lil Rezzy and someone's live smoking out before.
nah, nah. I never smoked with Rezi, or I never smoked with anybody before, and I don't know if I ever will, because I don't want to make it. I mean, I don't know. Who knows? I can't speak on the future, but I don't know. Maybe I
I
might. What?
guess we'll see what happens this weekend now.
Oh yeah, no. This weekend I'm not smoking. I'm not smoking this weekend because I want to enjoy everyone's presence. I want to enjoy all the fun things that are happening in a
Hmm.
sober mind state, and I just want to be like just enjoying everything and just being in the presence this weekend. It's gonna be fun. I know it's gonna be fun. You're gonna be there, right?
I can't hear you. Sorry. I think the camera or something cut out. Might be the internet.
Oh my god. You've been saying that you were gonna be there, and you also said you don't like to lie. So
That wasn't even a lie. That was a joke.
you said
Um,
you were gonna. Are you gonna be there? Yes or no?
for now, it's still a yes. It
Okay.
just
All right. Let's
depends
keep it.
about my wolf pack if they're all still going with me or if they're gonna bail out on me.
George,
But
are you still going? Right. George is part of your Wolfpack. George and Rezi.
George Rizzi
Okay.
and manager, we were all supposed to go there. So depends if my wolf pack is still behind me.
All right. So do you smoke? Yes or no?
No, I don't like the smell of it. I don't like being around it. I can tolerate people smoking cigarettes at the casino. But other than that,
Mm.
maybe like if it's nice and cool and people are smoking outside at night, then yeah. But if it's during the day, I can't stand around people that smoke cigarettes. I don't like the smell of marijuana. I can tolerate it. I just don't prefer to
Uh,
hang out with, you know. So when people come here and say, "Hey, can I smoke?" You can go outside, but you're not going to do it in here.
Meet me outside. Meet me outside. How about that? Yeah, I used to smoke cigarettes all the time, but that shit is so disgusting to me. I can't even. I can't. When I see a cigarette, the cigarette smoke, it's like blue. I don't know if you noticed that, but when you smoke a cigarette, the cigarette's like almost blue. And I'm just
Hmm.
like, fuck, that's like shitloads of chemicals in there. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
I can't. And then marijuana smell. I love the way marijuana smells. It smells so good to me. And the taste of it, everything about it is. I really do like it a lot. I don't know what else to say, but when people do like wax, I can't do wax. I don't like the way it smells neither, and I don't like to do edibles neither. I never tried an edible before in my life, and I don't think I'll be open to that because for me, I'd like to taste it, I like to smell it, and I like to do everything you do when you do what when you smoke. But and
I've done it before. I've done marijuana before. It did not work very well with me. I was in another world, tripping out by myself. I was terrified. Um, Other experience happened, but it's kind of embarrassing. But after that, I've never wanted to try it again. It's like I'm okay. I'm
see, you
good.
know what the difference is nowadays is that you know what you're smoking. I'm pretty sure back in the day when you smoked what you smoked, you had no idea what it was. You just knew it was weed, and then you smoked it,
Hmm. Yeah,
and there
basically.
was no
But I
yeah,
don't
and
think
there
I
was
would
no
do it again though, even if they say, "Oh, this is good for you. This is not gonna let you trip," and this is. I just don't like the smell.
yeah, yeah. Everything is like in I think it's like was it milligrams or some shit like that. I don't know what I see. I don't really know much about it, but I get the one with the leaf. Um, fuck, I forget the name of it. I get the one that's not strong enough to fucking make me freak out. I don't like to be in a state where I can't control my own mind. But
Hmm.
when I'm in it, it's more like a it's not like it's more like a relief kind of thing. Like it's kind of like a breathing moment for me. I'm like, oh fuck. Like it's like Cat Williams said, he's like, just take a hit, and then he's like, man, fuck these bills, man. It kind of gets me in that moment. I'm just like, oh man, fuck all these people, dude. And then I'm like, man, fuck all these bills. Like, I'll deal with it in a little bit. I've never been one to be like, take a break from your responsibilities, but sometimes that helps me.
You know what helps me? Sleeping.
Oh,
Sleeping.
sleeping,
Oh, you know
sleep.
what? I'm just gonna go to sleep. Let me take like a 30-minute nap. My brain is like going a little too fast for me. I'll take a nap and then I'll wake up like, okay, let me re-strategize. Why was I stressing out? Let's figure this out. That's me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's good.
And
And
now
I
you're what?
smoke
Mountain smoke?
cigar.
Even worse.
Nah, well, the difference between cigars and cigarettes is that these ones don't have that many. That's like not super packed with chemicals. It's more natural tobacco. So that's the difference. Though it might still be like bad for your lungs and your health and whatnot, it's still better than a cigarette.
So
And the
why are
way you
you
smoke
smoking it? What's the purpose of smoking that?
it, it's calming. It's something that people do in like to relax and to just. It's almost like remember how people enjoy an occasional glass of wine just
Yeah.
to chill and just to relax and be in that moment. That's how this is. You're not supposed to smoke a cigar and go and then inhale it and get all fucked up. That's not how you smoke a cigar. You're just supposed to just smoke it and then just enjoy it, hold it, watch the way it burns down, enjoy the taste, and then obviously some of the smoke will get into your lungs. It'll make you feel a little lightheaded, but it's more of a therapeutic kind of thing, you know? Yeah, that's what the purpose of a cigar is to be more therapeutic than anything.
I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
yeah. That's as far as I know. I mean, shit. I could smoke a mountain smoke too if I wanted to, but I
What
probably
is
wouldn't.
that? What does that do?
I don't know. Same thing, I guess. But mountain smoke is like more traditional kind of tobacco. I feel like that one should be used only in ceremony purposes.
Okay.
Yeah, because when I'm pretty sure when they use it in like a ceremony, they say like the smoke. Um, when you smoke in a ceremony, then the smoke takes up your prayers up to God or like eagles or some shit like that. So the purpose of smoke like that is so that it can deliver your prayers or something.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. You smoke
No.
cigarettes?
No.
Have you ever smoked cigarettes?
I have, but I don't think I even did it right. I didn't
Did you
get
inhale it and it
feeling.
made you feel nauseous?
Maybe like it's been a long time, long, long time, and I only did it because people around me were doing it at the casino. So that's when I did it.
Ah,
But I never really got the concept of why people smoke cigarettes. But I wouldn't do it again. I'm okay.
now cigarettes are really bad for you. Really, really bad for you. It's like first hand smoking, second hand smoking, and third hand smoking. So all of
Mhm.
it in general is horrible.
Yep. But I'm not
Yeah.
gonna say get out of here. But if you're gonna smoke, I guess just go ahead and smoke there. I'll remove myself and then come back later. That's what I would do.
That works.
Yeah.
So you're gonna be there on Saturday. What are you gonna bring? Are you
Mountain
gonna
smoke.
bring your own? Yeah, that's fine. That worked.
What do you mean? What am I gonna bring?
Are you gonna bring your like a camper, or are you gonna bring like a camping gear or something?
Probably just our camping gear because we literally just went camping over the weekend at Farmington Lake. The whole mighty crew went out there. So
Ah,
everything is still packed. Everything is still ready to go. I haven't unloaded anything. It literally is just sitting there.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
just my tent. I won't be bringing the girls though. My
Okay.
little one does not like porta potties. She will not. It was
Mm,
very hard to get her to go over there. So a lot of time we had to pull a pull up on her and have her pee into pull up and then change her right there.
mm,
So most likely won't
okay.
take her in a lot of events. I don't take the girls with me. Um, so most likely just it's supposed to be me, George, Resi, and manager, but we haven't really talked about it yet. So we'll see what happens.
It's coming up close, so everybody should talk about it. You guys should talk about it soon. It's literally
Yeah,
like 2 days away.
we will talk about it eventually.
Talk about it right now. Let's go. I'm just kidding. I
Yeah,
feel
see
like I feel like you're getting ready to leave
where.
off the live.
Oh yeah, I'm about to get off the live. My dad made dinner because I can smell it, and
Mm,
today's his last day here. Tomorrow they're leaving back home, so this is my last evening to spend with him before he heads back.
okay.
We have one more casino to hit up.
Tonight?
Yeah.
Wow. Damn. Yeah, that's sounds fun. I
It's
some good questions. I feel like a lot of people obviously people are able to not like me if they don't want to like me. That's totally fine with me. I honestly don't really give a shit. But I'm glad that you asked those questions. And I didn't want this any of my lives. I don't want them to seem like a debate.
mm-hmm.
And um, I feel like a lot of the people who are listening, they appreciate these type of conversations just to get to know people a little more. And I know that some of the questions that you asked, people want to ask those questions too. They
Yeah.
want to ask me those questions, but they're afraid to ask me because of my responses, or they're afraid of how I might respond. But I honestly don't mind those type of questions. I gotta give you props. I admire you for asking those questions because not anybody could ask those questions, and I feel like you were the right person to ask those questions. And
Oh, thank you.
yeah, and thank you for asking those questions because I know that there was probably a lot more questions that people wanted you to ask me. And thank you for not asking those questions, not because you're trying to protect me or anything, but rather respectful of my family and my children and
Yeah,
things like
a
that.
lot
So,
of it was just it's not my place. It's
mhm,
that's on you. But a lot of what I wanted to speak upon is what you bring to the lives, to the podcast, what you
yeah,
talk about, not what other people talk about you. Like I don't ever hear, or when I do hear stuff like that, I don't be like, oh well, let's talk about that. So and so said this, and I'm just not that type of person. Unless you talk to me about it, then yeah, let's talk about it, kind of thing.
and I
But
feel like
whatever.
I could be down. I would be willing to talk to you about things. I feel like
Hmm.
even off the live, I feel like me and you could have a good like I feel like we could have a good dialogue, and I feel
Yeah.
like we understand each other, and I feel like we can come to an understanding, and even if it comes down to agreeing to disagree, I feel like we'll be able to have good conversation because I am a sucker for the whole horoscope thingy, and I really believe that I can connect really well with people who are born in August. That's
Okay.
just me. I really feel like I can connect with people who are born in August, and I don't know. It's just the way it is, I guess. And I feel like yeah, it was nice. It was cool. It was refreshing to be able to talk. I know that there's other things I wanted to say regarding some of the questions that you asked in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot more that I wanted to say and address, but I didn't want to spend too much time on those topics.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, it's cool. I'm glad you asked them. Thank you for asking them. And I thank you for everybody else who probably didn't see me the way they should see me, because now people know that I do have things that I'm still working on in my life, and they
Yeah.
see that I have my resistance toward certain people, and now they know that I don't believe that women drive better than men, even just in that tiny little thing. I know now that people will see me differently, and it'll open up their eyes, and then now they'll really support me or they really won't support me, you know?
So
Now,
let's go back to that. Women don't drive better than men. That's where you have to rephrase. Some women do drive better than some men. Because I know some men cannot drive for shit. So some women can do it. Some men can't do it. Just some.
if we
Try
break it
try
down
using
to
that word. Try using just is this just a 4 letter word?
if we broke it down to the actual statistics, I think that everybody would be like, yeah, man, women can't really drive.
Majority.
Some women can't drive better.
Majority of women can't drive for shit.
I'm
But
not saying that
some
every
women
man knows how to
can. You
drive
have
because
some badass truck driver woman out here. So most men can drive better than a woman, but some women can be beast mode.
yeah, and some men can't drive for shit neither, I guess. I mean, it goes
Hmm.
both ways, but I'm just
See,
saying that
some. You said some for men.
the
Some for men.
majority of the time, it's the men who drive better than the woman, I should say.
There you
But
go. See, that wasn't hard. That's all you had to do. Just put little words.
yeah, I think for what is it called? Um,
Back cameras don't count.
I think it. I think. Are you going to continue to watch my listen to my podcast?
Yeah, I want to see if I went through one ear out the other.
Uh huh.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna continue to support you, even though there's some things I don't agree with. But
Hmm.
that doesn't make you who you are. There's a lot of other things you contribute that I can learn from that I don't know about you.
Let me tell you this: is anything that I said on the podcast has anything that I said on the podcast been beneficial to you in some ways?
Um, Let me see. When you talk about business, yes. When you talk about um, some of your experience growing up, I can relate to some of those. So yeah, some yes. Some of
Okay.
them it doesn't really pertain to me because I don't really know much about it, or I've never experienced it, or I've never heard of it.
Uh, I I'm not gonna say I'm never gonna say some because I know I have said some. I know I have said some of you women and some of you men. I know I've said that before, and I can guarantee that I've said that before. I can guarantee that I said that before.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I'm not gonna say that I won't ever say some. I'm just saying that I get it. I get where you're coming from, and I definitely don't want to uh, offend all women because now that you put it in a perspective of my mom listening or my sister listening, then I'd be like, I'd be like, it's not pertaining to you though. If I was to talk to my mom and she would say, we're not all like that, and I'm like, yeah, okay, well, I understand that part, you know. So I could definitely see myself when I speak about men and women. I could definitely see myself saying some women and some men. I could
There
see that
you
happening.
go.
Yeah,
That's all we wanted to hear. Just start trying. That's it.
but I know that I have said that before, so it's not going to be anything
Yeah,
new to
you've
me.
you've said it before, but majority of the
Mhm.
time it's you all you woman lies. It's like, damn, okay. That kind of hurt my heart.
Well, all women do lie though, but all men do lie too. So there's some truth behind that. You gotta admit.
Yeah, I lie about some little things, but it's not that big.
There you go. See, now we're coming to some type of understanding. You know what I'm saying? Because man, we all fucking lie. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we all lie, and I don't like it when people fake the funk. I don't like when people say, "Oh, I don't ever lie." I'm not like that.
Mm-hmm.
There's no conviction there for themselves. So the one of the worst things that I see in a person one of the worst things I could learn from a person is about a person is them not being honest
Mm-hmm.
with themselves. I
Yeah.
can't stand when people are not honest. I don't like when people don't stick to their word, and I don't like when people follow through with their words, and I don't like when people say that they're perfect and that they don't lie. That's the things that just makes me like, man, you're the person who I'm fucking talking about when I say these kind of things, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad that you realize that you do lie sometimes. I mean, I lie sometimes, and we all lie sometimes. We all
Yeah.
cheat. I mean, I cheat on certain things too. And I've cheated before in my life, I'm not gonna lie. And I stole before, and I used someone's vulnerability to my advantage and threw it in their face to hurt them too. I've
Mm-hmm.
been a bully when I was younger, and I've been a bystander when I was younger. I have insulted people who I didn't know, just plain, just because I'm feeling mad or angry or being hateful that moment. So, yo, I am not a perfect person. Like I, I will never claim to be someone perfect. I will never claim to have my shit together. I will never claim that I am better. I am better than certain people, but I'm not better than everybody. And I could say that out of confidence because I really believe that I am better than some people. And just that, for instance, some people can't admit to the fucked up parts of them, and that makes me a better person just for even admitting that. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're all fucked up. We're all just trying to figure it out. So for 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 a person to look down on me and see me less of a person now that they heard this conversation, then I won't feel bad about it because it is what it is, and it was eventually going to happen. And I know that in the future, a lot of negative things are going to be said about me too, and I'm willing to face those negative things. And a lot of positive things are going to be said about me too, and I'm willing to face
Mm-hmm.
those things too. Yeah, it's just the way it
Okay.
is. And I wouldn't have said these things. See, that's why I'm slowly growing. And whether
And
you like to,
you need positive people in your life too. Maybe just call me sometimes, okay? If you need to talk. I'm literally just a call and text away.
all right, I will do that. I will do that. And thank you for saying that because yeah, but only if you promise to never use any of the things that I tell you against me in the future.
I don't do that. Like I promise I don't ever do that.
Okay, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a couple, like maybe 1,500 or 700 people who are going to watch this, so everybody's going to know that you promised me.
Okay.
But yeah, this live was dope. I did I did take away some things. I will reflect on it. I'll probably watch it again, and then
And
I'll
again
I'll
and again and then just take notes. So whenever you feel like you need to say something negative, just replay like the 2 minute that I spoke.
I
I'm
still
kidding.
don't I still don't believe that any of the things that I've said on the live or a podcast are negative. I still don't believe that, but I will be able to say sometimes when it
Mm-hmm.
comes out.
That's
So
basically just it. It's just I think um a lot of arguments start because of miscommunication, and we don't
mhm.
really take that into consideration, um, especially with your tone when you say certain things. You think you're saying it in a nice way, but your tone says differently, and then that's where the miscommunication starts. So that's where I feel like a
Right,
lot of arguments is just because of that. And with this situation, I feel like that's just what it is. It's just a miscommunication and understanding where you're coming from.
right.
So I don't think you're a sexist. I don't think none of that. I just think you just need to word it just a little bit differently.
Okay. Did you learn something from this conversation? 3 hours.
I learned a lot about you.
Well, about me, yeah, but did you learn something else that you can take away, or are you perfect?
Never to do drugs, never to smoke a cigar,
Okay.
and having a best friend. You have to cherish them a lot because I see how your relationship is with Lefty, and I need to check up on Z a little more often because
Yeah.
she's basically my lefty, basically the left
Mm.
hand person.
Lefty don't really check up on me though, so he needs to learn from you. So he needs to check on me sometimes.
And I
And
learned
so
that
do,
we can get jealous over friends. I thought I
yeah.
was the only one.
And Jerickson just comment too. He needs to also start to check on me too, because I check on both of those guys. So
Dang,
my
Jared.
my be- my friends need some work too. They're not perfect friends. I'm not a perfect friend either, but I think I'm a better friend than they are to me. I am to them a better friend. I'm just fucking. You see what I just did there? I'm fucking around, so don't take that too
Mhm.
literal, everybody. Just calm the fuck down. Everybody. Or
George
should
said,
I
"Calm
say
down."
some of you,
There
right?
you go. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you again. Yeah, thank you again. It was good to talk to you. I'll call you for real sometimes when I'm really like.
Not for money though. I don't got that.
As a matter of fact,
Call
I
me
think you
when
still
you
owe me
still
some
want to
crab
have that
legs.
lobster. I'll be ready.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. And next time you're in town, don't put it to public and then expect me to be like, oh, Onnalyn wants to hang out with me. You gotta call me and then text me personally and say, yo, the fuck you at? You wanna go to casino or what? I'll be like, hell yeah,
Next time, if I'm not busy, yes. Other than that, if I have the kids and I'm with my dad, then no, I'm just us. We
that's
travel
fine.
together in the bubble.
That's fine. That's fine.
But all right then. Well, you guys all have a good night. Thank you guys. AA meeting's over. You guys all have a good night. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for your feedback. Thank you for your understanding. If you guys did understand his point of view and my point of view, I see you awake. You crazy? All
Oh
right.
no.
It was.
I'm
This was
letting.
a really good conversation. Look
Yeah.
right here. Look. Say hi.
Hi. Hi. Are you sleepy? Are you ready to go to sleep?
Oh, we're fire. Oh, there's a fire.
Are you ready to go to sleep?
And she's off. She's
I'm
distracted already.
I'm gonna let your mom go now, okay? You can take your mom and go eat and then go to sleep.
Say okay, babe. Babe, look over here. Say see you later. See you later.
Can I have a high five?
Look right here. Look. High five. Oh, she's gonna knock my phone.
All
Babe, look.
right, cool.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Okay.
All right. All right, thanks, Onnalyn. We'll talk to you later.
All right. Good
We'll see
night.
you Saturday.
See you later. Okay.
All right, see you later. See you Saturday. All right. Thank you guys for watching. It was a really cool live. I appreciate you guys for watching. Um, let me see. Some good questions from Onnalyn. And I just want to say that all of you guys are wrong. All of you guys don't know what the hell you're talking about. I'm right, and that's the way it's going to be. That's always how it has been. That's how it always will be. And I'm just playing. I'm just kidding. Calm the hell down. All right. So, like I said, this live was really good. Okay, only because now we know. Right now, you guys know. Now you know if you actually want to support me or if you don't. And if you don't, that's totally fine with me. If you don't want to be my friend no more, that's totally fine with me. It's okay. We all have our differences, and we all get to choose who we allow to be in our circle in our lives. Okay, so yeah, this live was definitely needed. I feel like I think we could have dived in a little more on some of the questions. Honestly, I had a lot more to say on some questions, but my answers could have been different. But it's all good. It is what it is. Like I said, this live will be here, and it's not gonna go anywhere. Let me see. Let me read some of these comments real quick before you guys jump off. um, Tanya says, got the very tail of it. Native 305 says, don't forget to put on your VIX. Okay. Love Purple says, whatever. Malcolm Reed says, who is that man? Tanya says, you should get me on your live. I don't mind getting you on the live. If you want to be on the live, let me know. Sophie Lair says, do you watch a lot of Kevin Samuel, Andrew Tate, and Fresh Fit podcasts? I don't know who those people are. George says, I'm right, you're wrong. I'm big, you're little. Exactly. ML says, I support you. Thank you for the support. B says, thank you for sharing your live. Thank you. You're welcome. Jojo G says, you're still loved. Thank you. I appreciate that. Lucille Hell says, always your fan, 100%. Thank you. Appreciate that. Lefty says, good night. Good night. Lefty, you better get ready to play some Madden. Let's play one game. Veronica Shirley says, at least you don't smoke in front of your kids. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't smoke in front of my children, obviously. Jojo says, good night. Always a support. This is Deadly Tiger 999. I want to remind everybody that we're going to have a party on Saturday. Okay, come through to Blue Gap. If you have any questions regarding that party, just hit me up. I have a Facebook, and you can hit me up on TikTok, or you can drop a comment on the community tab, or even this video later. Drop a comment with a question, and then I'll answer your question. It's going to be happening at my house in Blue Gap. We're going to have a lot of fun. Music's going to be playing. It's going to be from um, 8 p.m. all the way to 3 a.m. It's Saturday. So I encourage everybody to get there on Saturday evening. Everyone is invited. Even if you don't like me, you are invited. I want to see you have fun. I want everybody on my lives to have fun, or my channel, all my supporters to have fun. So come out, have some fun with your family, bring your kids, and yeah, man, let's have some fun. We all need to just chill, have a moment to ourselves, and just have some innocent fun. Okay, and I think that's about it. That's about all I have to say. And I think Christmas is live right now. So if you guys want to go over and watch Christmas is live, go over there and say hello. And Jay Blaze says packing the last bowl. I think I'm gonna cook a steak right now, and I'm gonna have some steak before we crash out. I'll have a steak. Hugs and pat on the back. Yo, George, thank you for support. I hope you don't see me differently. Just kidding.
We're all bigger. That's good.
Yeah, dude,
What?
I'll punish you after I get off the live. Just kidding. I'm just playing. Nothing. I'm just playing. Uh, I'm not mad at you, no. Veronica says, thanks for the live. Good night. Anna, lots of hugs. LZ says, we love you despite the criticism. You're the alpha and stand your ground. Thank you. I appreciate that. Good night. Good night. Yeah, an important lesson to learn from this live could be to be open to learning and then also to stay true to your beliefs and what you believe in. I think that's important too. I de- this one's just, I'm reading comments off of this one. So, anyways, I was saying, like be true to what you believe in. That's important. And I definitely will take from this conversation, and I definitely feel like I definitely feel like I need to get a new couch now because I think Lefty just broke that one. Important lesson is to have a friend like Lefty. That's an important lesson too. Jerickson says, "Who's that undocumented person behind you?" Damn. Uh, I'm up for a live anytime. Hey, all right, Tanya. Tanya, is there a way you send me an email? Okay, send the email to growntalkwitharrows@gmail.com. And if anybody else is watching, if you guys want to send me an email, send me an email. I don't give a shit if you want to criticize me or send me hateful things, or if you want to just send me some support through messages. Feel free to do that. And make sure you guys go and listen to my podcast on Spotify. It's Grown Talk with Arrows. And yeah, this is it's pretty dope. So we'll talk to you guys soon. We'll see you. We'll see all of you guys on Saturday, right? You guys will all be there. So pull up, okay? Pull up. Don't be all somehow. Come through. I want to give another shout out to Onnalyn. Let me see. Grown Talk with Arrows at gmail.com. There's my email. Grown Talk with Arrows at gmail.com. Send me a an email right there, and then we'll schedule it out. Okay. Next week, I will be on the live with Rezi, Rezzee with Rezi, and I think the week after I'll be on the live with Simone, and I'll get other artists, I'll get other content creators to get on the live too throughout those days. But next 2 weeks or next week will be with Rezi. So don't forget to tune in. I'll have the flyer and I'll release it here pretty soon. Um, yeah, yeah. Stay true to yourselves. Be nice to your friends, and never stop evolving. Oh yeah, and another thing before I get off the live, I want all of you to have a good night, get some rest. Tomorrow's a whole nother day. And if you have anything else to say, just please shut the hell up.